After 66 steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Happy Monday, everybody. I trust you had a wonderful weekend. Now that the day is winding down, there is still so much stories making waves and sparking conversations. This is What's Trending. I'm Jiminita Swain. Here's what we're getting into today. Elder abuse often goes unnoticed, but the impact can be devastating. We'll discuss the red flags families should know and how one annual event is celebrating active, healthy aging. Then, when most people think of dementia, they think about memory loss. But the condition can affect relationships, independence, and the quality of life in ways many don't realize. We're discussing the realities of living with dementia and the challenges families can face and how we can better support and protect our seniors. And wrapping things up, a shocking incident in Brazil sparks international attention. The New York Knicks end a 53-year championship drought, and Bahamian coach Charles Allen has a championship ring to celebrate. What's the Buzz got all the details. So get comfortable, because What's Trending will be right back.
Actually, the Pineapple Festival, we are in its 27th year. It's actually the signature event of the island, and every year persons look forward to this taking place. We have visitors who come every year. They plan their vacation around the Pineapple Festival, which is always the first weekend in June. It's one of the biggest festivals in the Bahamas, the first of its kind. So, like I said, everybody, domestic and international visitors, look forward to attending this annual event.
Well, our demonstration I had is one that I've been doing for the past 2 years with Ministry of Tourism. It's a wonderful collaboration where I get the opportunity to demonstrate and show people how to make different products. This product, since it's Pineapple Festival, would have been the pineapple jelly. And during the time of being able to show people how to make the pineapple jelly, as an educator, I was able to, and an entrepreneur, give people an idea on how to get their pineapple hustle on and make various products with pineapples to make some extra money.
So we're here with Sarasota Yacht Club. We came all the way from Sarasota, Florida as a group out to Harbor Island, and then we spent the day on Eleuthera enjoying some of the sights, the Blue Hole and Preacher's Cave and the Glass Window Bridge, and we knew the festival was going on, so we decided to come down here and check it out as well. I mean, we really enjoyed, the music, which is awesome. Right when we walked in, it was a good time. We walked around, the food was incredible, everybody ate. Obviously the pineapple side of things, just kind of infused with all the food, is awesome. And then we enjoyed the demonstration, making the pineapple jam was really nice. The kids enjoyed it, we enjoyed it, got to taste some samples, it was great. I would say don't miss it. It's awesome. We had a great time, and yeah, it's something that's definitely worth a visit.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Thanks for staying with us. World Elder Abuse Awareness Day shines a light on an issue that often goes unnoticed but can have serious impact on the lives of older adults. While it's important to raise awareness about the elder abuse, it's also important to celebrate healthy aging, independence, and the contributions of our seniors. Joining us now to discuss World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, as well as the upcoming 15th Annual Geriatric Push-a-thon under the theme Out of Bed, Full Speed Ahead, is Nurse Lindiana Raming. Welcome to What's Trending. Got a little tongue twisted there.
Thank you.
It's so great to have you here with us, Nurse Raming. So let's start with World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Why does this observance remain so important, and why do these conversations matter now more than ever?
Worldwide, the elderly is aging. We are aging, and the most heavily population that is growing more than ever is the elderly. So as we age, we need to realize that we need to know how to take care of persons 60 years and older. So if you don't know how to care for them, you don't know how to speak to them, there's so much abuse and neglect, you're not even being aware that what's happening, whether it's physically, mentally, socially, financially, sexually. All of these areas are being abused, they're being exploited, and no one is really saying anything about it, and so they're just living in silence. And what research shows that 90% of this abuse is being done by family members.
Oh, wow.
And persons who are close to you.
So, as you mentioned, when we hear the word abuse, we often think of it as physical harm. But what are some of the less obvious forms of abuse that may take place that families should be aware of?
Neglect. They're being neglected. You see persons even with dehydration, people losing weight, you're seeing scars on them, fractures, bruises. You're seeing persons who not attending their medical appointment. They just being left home alone, not being cared for. And it's all abuse without even knowing. Persons are taking advantage of loved ones financially, like how right now everything is to bank cards. They have to go to the bank. So they give you, say for instance, give you their bank card with their number. You realize they have all these funds, and you're just taking advantage, withdrawing their money from them, not providing food, nutrients for them that they need. Their bills are not being paid for, and it's just a bunch of taking advantage of the elderly. No. And they're just living in silence because they don't want no problem. Listen, when you leave from here, say for instance, they tell one daughter, well, this is going on, and when they leave from there, they're being abused because you go and open your mouth. You can get it when so-and-so don't leave. And it's worldwide.
So they're just suffering in silence?
Suffering in silence, yes.
So elder abuse is often described as a hidden problem. Why do so many cases go unreported, you think, and what can we as a community do to change that? Because it's not just a local problem, this is a global problem. Yes. But locally, what can we do?
It takes a village, like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a community. If you see something, say something, because the neighbor may see where the person is not eating, the person is being yelled at, pushed, not getting sufficient food. You see the warning signs. The person is not attending church anymore. This person used to be sociable and like to go out, and now here it is, they just being cooped up home. They're dirty, smelly, and all of this stuff. So the neighbors need to speak out. And if you realize that so much is going on in that home, that family might need help. So the crisis center is there where they could get counseling. The person might, you as a neighbor, take a break, say, hey, listen, I'll take care of them. You go and have a day out. So to give them a break, because it's really, really a lot of strain on the family. You realize this person was always active, independent, everything, and everything changed as dementia, as Alzheimer's kicked in. Now here it is, they now dependent, and it's just a whole lot, and then Pampers and all these different things.
So many different changes, eh?
A lot of changes, and it's a strain on the family if they don't have it. But social services is there. They have a whole social service division for the elderly. They can seek help there. They can come to a crisis center, call and get some help. Help and hope is out there.
Definitely. So while awareness is critical, so is celebrating what our seniors can actually do. So tell us about the 15th annual Geriatric Push-a-thon and the inspiration behind this year's theme, out of bed, full speed ahead.
Yes, because it's, use it or lose it. We have to try and encourage independence in the elderly rather than just keep them cooped up home, to just take them out and let them catch fresh air, interact with others, and just feel a part of the community again and not just hide away at home. But full speed ahead as we're gonna have that 15th anniversary. We're gonna push it on where we're gonna take them all around, leaving Sandlands, going around through Elizabeth Estate and coming back around. And the runners and walkers, they'll go to the beach and come back around. But it's such a joy to see them and the family members. We welcome the family members to just come and be a part of it. Just being there, you register for it, you're gonna get a t-shirt, you're gonna get fruits,
And just remind our viewers who may be very excited about participating when and where the event is gonna take place.
Yeah, it's gonna be held at Sandlands Rehabilitation Center. We're leaving from Sandlands and we're heading north. We're heading south onto Foxhill Road around the prison.
So a great opportunity to socialize and be mobile with the residents.
And we want you to just, it's a needy cause. We in need of a wheelchair bus. And there's so much needs. Everything can be on the government. So we are trying to help ourselves. We really honestly need a wheelchair bus so that we can take our patients back out in society to do their appointments. We have to be using the ambulance to take them for appointments, those who are disabled.
So we can make it happen. So quickly, my final question for you. Why do you love what you do? You've been working with seniors for such a long time.
Yes,
in a quick nutshell answer.
I love nursing. It's my calling. Plus, I'm aging too. And just treating people the way you like to be treated and just showing them the love and care, making them feel a part.
So basically paying it forward.
Yes.
All right. Well, Nurse Framing, thank you so much for joining us and for all of the important work that you do up there at the Geriatric Hospital and for the support that you give to our aging community. So thank you so much for that and for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And best wishes, of course, on the push-a-thon.
Oh, yes. Please come out and support us.
Well, still ahead, dementia affects far more than memory. We'll explore how it impacts dignity, daily life, and the people who provide care every step of the way. Stay with us.
I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
During a storm, your safety is priority number one. Stay indoors and away from windows and avoid going outside. Keep a flashlight handy and tune in to all official updates. Never use candles. They are a fire risk. Stay calm, stay connected, stay safe.
As we continue our focus on supporting our seniors, we're turning our attention to dementia, a condition that affects not only memory, but also independence, relationships, and daily life. Our next guest has recently published a book on the topic and is helping to raise awareness about the realities of living with dementia. Joining us now is Joan Evans. Welcome to What's Trending, Joan.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
It's great to have you here with us. So, June, let's start with your journey. What inspired you to write a book about dementia, and why was it so important for you to share this information?
Well, when I decided to write the book, it started as a means of comfort for myself, because when I'm going through stressful situations, I write. So I started writing, documenting what happened with my family. And as I was writing, I thought about how it can be a source of
comfort and companion for those who are going through it as well, helping them to realize that they're not alone, because oftentimes as a caregiver, as a family going through it, you feel as if it's only you and no one else in the world is suffering with what you're doing with. So it was a means of letting others know that you're not alone, and maybe something in my book will help them as well.
So for many people, dementia and memory loss are synonymous. So what are some of the biggest misunderstandings that people have about the condition, you think?
A lot of people think about dementia as a mental illness. They look as if a person is ill, that person is crazy. But it is a disorder of the brain, and dementia has many forms, many types. And in my family, we've seen a variety of the types, I think. My mother and my grandmother were both diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is a form of dementia. A lot of people think Alzheimer's is an interchangeable word for dementia, but it's a type of dementia. And the most common type in the Bahamas is vascular dementia, and I think the other members of my family have suffered with that, even though the doctors didn't specifically say their type of that. So there's that misconception as mental illness, but it is a medical condition.
That's interesting to know. And dementia diagnosis doesn't just affect one person, as you rightly pointed out. It often impacts the entire family. So what are some of the challenges that caregivers and loved ones face along the way? Since you said you wrote to get through coping,
yes.
What are some of those challenges that you had to face?
Well, the number one challenge is dealing with the change in your loved ones. The behavioral patterns are changing. With my mother, she lost the ability to do things that was familiar to her. With my sister, she's now lost the ability to walk, so she's bedridden. And their whole personality sometimes, because my sister has a good day, a bad day, so you have to adjust to what day it is you're going to deal with, what's going to come out of this day. So it's more than just the forgetfulness.
And as you touched on too, obviously as the condition progresses, that means that they become more reliant on each other. So does that increase the risk of neglect or abuse or even financial exploitation, you think?
I think it does, because sometimes, depending on the relationship you've had with the person who you're now caring for, you may feel as they are a burden to you. But and then you won't do as much for them as they need you to do, because as time goes on, they depend on you for everything. Because at one stage, my sister depended on us to feed her. We had her do physical therapy that helped her to regain some use of her hands, so she's able to feed herself, but that is the most that she can do for herself. And some people may feel that I don't need to do all of that, but so that's an avenue where neglect could come in. A person may feel overwhelmed, as if they can't cope. And yes, the financial aspect of it, because I had another relative who experienced that, not from her family members, but from persons where she worked, because they picked up on her symptoms earlier on, and they started to abuse her financially.
So then why do you think it's so important that we continue to treat people living with dementia with patience, with respect and dignity, even as they change? Because basically what you're saying, it's out of their hands.
It's out of their hands, but their symptoms may have changed them, their personalities and all of that, but they're still who they were before the dementia. That doesn't change. With my mother, she was my mother before dementia. She was my mother after dementia. With my sister, she's still my sister.
Were there any warning signs that the senior may be experiencing neglect or emotional mistreatment, or it's just a matter of paying attention in some instances?
It's a matter of paying attention, because luckily for us, we buckled in and we took care. So it was not a thing where they were left to the mercies of anybody else. We hired caregivers, but we paid close attention to them. We worked along with them, and they appreciated our relationship with them. So I think that helps too, because if the caregiver sees that the family member is not concerned about the patient that they're looking after, they wouldn't give them the kind of care and attention. But if they see that you're invested in your loved one, then they would be too.
And for persons who may be watching today and caring for someone, what are some practical ways that they can help maintain that person's independence, purpose, and obviously their quality of life?
Well, what we do, the caregiver that's caring for my sister, she has a routine of like physical therapy activities to help keep her active because, as I said, my sister is not mobile, but she takes her through routines that help to keep her, can make sure her circulation, she's not just lying there. So you help them to do that. She helps her when it's a bath. She allows her to do as much as she can with her bath to assist herself so that she can feel independent. In the evenings, I would allow her to do her brushing of her teeth. I leave her to do that. I tell her, you do it, I'll come back, because watching her may make her feel as if, she is handicapped. So I leave her to do it, and I come back and I check on her.
So your book helps start some important conversations. What do you hope that readers take away when they turn the final page?
When they turn the final page, I want them to take away hope. Because the dementia can be sad. Because I had someone give a comment on the book. They said it's a good book, but it's really sad when they think about all of it. But they have hope at the end, because it's not the end, that they would have hope that there's hope out there. Because at the end of the book, I give pointers of how you can find help in the community, reach out to others. So I wanted to have hope at the end.
That's a great message. I hope that we all have hope at the end, indeed. Well, Joan, thank you so much for joining us this evening and for helping others to get a greater awareness of the impacts of dementia and what they can do. And as you rightly pointed out, to not lose hope either.
Yes,
throughout
thank
the
you.
journey.
I'm happy to be here.
Thanks again. Well, tragedy strikes during a trip to Brazil, a first NBA championship since 1973, and James Harden's latest headline has social media working overtime. All that and more when What's the Buzz returns. Stay with us.
Oh, isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? You haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit tdcbahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, The Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
Hi. Hello? Hey, girl. I at Wendy's. I'm trying to go to Essence Fest. Wendy's and Coca-Cola want to take you and your bestie to New Orleans. July 3rd through 5th is Essence Fest, and you could be traveling VIP style.
Roxy?
Tenders?
Tenders.
All you gotta do is upgrade any premium lunch combo 1 through 12 or a salad to a large, like a spicy number 6, add cheese and bacon, or a Dave's Classic, or my personal favorite, Tendies. This will now serve as your final boarding call for Flight 735, service into Essence Fest. Boarding now. Nola! We coming back?
From international headlines to NBA history and viral sports news, there's plenty making waves this week. The Bahama Beauty is standing by with all those stories everyone's talking about in this week's edition of What's the Buzz?
I'm the Bahama Beauty, and here's What's the Buzz for this week. A vacation turns tragic. A 24-year-old woman tragically lost her life in Brazil after allegedly being thrown from a cliff during what should have been a scenic outing. Authorities say preliminary investigations suggest negligence may have played a role in the incident, and multiple individuals are now being questioned as investigators piece together exactly what happened. Friends and family have described her as a vibrant, adventurous, and full of life person, making the circumstances surrounding her death even more devastating. The story has gone viral worldwide, with many people calling for accountability and a thorough investigation. It's a tragic reminder that one careless decision can change lives forever.
That's it. It's over. Bedlam here at the Garden.
New York City is celebrating like it's 1973 all over again. After an incredible playoff run, the New York Knicks are officially NBA champions, winning their first championship in 53 years. The Knicks defeated the San Antonio Spurs in 5 games to capture the title, ending one of the longest championship droughts in professional sports. And while New Yorkers are partying in the streets, Bahamians have an extra reason to celebrate as well. Congratulations are in order for Charles Allen, assistant coach for the Bahamas men's national basketball team and assistant coach of player development with the New York Knicks. So while the championship parade may be happening in Manhattan, there's a little piece of Bahamian excellence riding on that float as well. NBA star James Harden may finally be seeing court time in June, but it still has nothing to do with basketball. Over the weekend, the baller was initially pulled over for a traffic violation when officers observed a handgun sitting in the passenger seat of the car. He was charged with a misdemeanor unlawful carrying of a weapon and was released after paying a $100 bond. A court date is set for later this month.
Well, children are always watching and listening and always learning from the examples we set. In today's teaching diary, Melinda Whitney shares why our words and actions matter so deeply.
The Bible says children are like arrows, but arrows don't launch themselves. An arrow has direction, purpose, and intention. But it must be shaped, guided, and released by the one holding the bow. Parents, yes, that's you. Your words shape them, your discipline straightens them, and your example aims them. If an arrow is neglected, it won't fly straight. But when it is trained with care, it can reach places far beyond you. So handle your children with intention, because one day you will have to release them. And where they land will reflect how they were aimed by you.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
Steak sandwich.
I really like the honey mustard sauce. And then like the crispy bacon on it as well.
Oh, it's pepper jack cheese.
I love the spice. I love the crunch.
I love the original sandwich, but just that simple addition of bacon was like over the top.
The chicken is really good.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I rate this a 10 out of 10. I'd eat this again.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. So how's your preparation going? By now, you should be completing home repairs since the last storm, updating and replenishing your emergency kit, and paying closer attention to the ZNS networks for earlier than normal developments in the tropics and general storm tracking. Hurricanes don't wait. Why should you? This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
Coming up on Tuesday on What's Trending, the truth versus the reality of fatherhood. A father of 6 joins us to share what being a dad really looks like behind the scenes. And that's a wrap for What's Trending. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Until then, stay connected.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paisol Forbes. This is ZNS. At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paisol Forbes. This is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. Minister for Grand Bahama making her contribution to the 2026-2027 budget debate. Bahamaland Waterways has announced its acquisition of the Port Lucaya Marina and Grand Bahama Yacht Club. Holmes Rock Junior High celebrates its inaugural graduating class.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Shalia Rule, and as always, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Topping news tonight, Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says the Davis administration is turning plans into progress for the people of Grand Bahama. Contributing to the budget debate Monday evening, Minister Moxie pointing to several ongoing projects and says the government remains committed to delivering real opportunities and improving quality of life across the island. The minister noting that progress is measured not only by infrastructure, but also by the stability of families and the dignity of home ownership. A result, the government is continuing its housing and community renewal efforts through collaboration between the relevant ministries.
Inherited subdivision land clearing will commence shortly for the construction of 18 homes at Wellington Pinder Estates. A 100-acre tract is under consideration by the Ministry of Housing for Infrastructure and Home Development. Construction is also about to commence on 30 lots scattered throughout Grand Bahama, which are already in the ownership of the Ministry of Housing.
In Garden Villas, Minister Moxie says demolition orders have been issued for 2 large apartment complexes, while plans have been approved for 2 new multi-family residential buildings to be added to the rent-to-own program.
I'm optimistic that action will follow shortly regarding the acquisition of these derelict properties. New homes will be built in Garden Villas as part of the rebirth program of the inner cities for Grand Bahama. And my ministry, working along with the Ministry of Housing, will be presenting keys to new homeowners of newly refurbished housing homes in South Bahama.
The minister also announcing that the Ministry for Grand Bahama will soon present keys to new homeowners of new refurbished homes in the South Bahama community.
Housing is not only about buildings. It is about dignity, safety, family stability, community renewal, and helping people remain rooted in their communities with pride.
We will have more from the minister's contribution in a later newscast. Another investment is unfolding in the Port Lukaya area. Bahama Land Waterways has announced its acquisition of the Port Lukaya Marina and Grand Bahama Yacht Club, a move being viewed as a vote of confidence in Grand Bahama's tourism and marine sectors. The acquisition comes just months after an MSC subsidiary acquired a 20-acre portion of the Grand Lukayan property for a planned beach club development. Officials and vendors alike are optimistic that the latest investment will help spur economic activity throughout the Port Lukaya marketplace and surrounding area. Sherelle Dames has more in this report.
Well, it's another major investment for the islands of Grand Bahama. Bahama Land Waterways has acquired the Port Lukaya Marina and Grand Bahama Yacht Club, a move many say signals continued confidence in the island's economic future. Meanwhile, Port Lukaya officials and vendors say the acquisition signals a greater opportunity for development of this waterfront community.
Phase 1 at the Port Lukaya Marina, just opposite of the Market Square, will commence in the next few months, and Phase 2 is scheduled to commence at a later date. This is expected to provide a significant economic boost to the local economy, community, particularly benefiting straw market vendors, arts and craft businesses, and tenants throughout the Port Lukaya marketplace.
The president of the Port Lukaya Marketplace Association, along with the president of the Straw Vendors Association and a local vendor, are all weighing in on the anticipated ripple effect of the upcoming revitalization of the marinas. They say the developments could provide a much-needed boost to business activity in the area, noting that portions of the Port Lukaya Marketplace have remained closed since Hurricane Matthew and have continued to deteriorate over the years.
This is a good news for the marketplace because boaters, you know what I mean, it's a trickle-down effect on the economy. You know, we need the boaters. They're like overnighters. Since we don't have no hotels in this area or nothing, that's a huge step. It's a long time in the making. And back in the day when Port Lukaya was Port Lukaya, the boaters played a significant role in the economy, in the local economy.
Even with the sustainability of not having the hotel open up as yet, this marina will hold us for another period of time until the hotel is completed.
We are praying hard for the betterment for us and the betterment for everybody, not 1, 2, 3 people, everybody, because everyone needs help.
And while vendors and officials are looking toward what this redevelopment will bring, they're also taking time to acknowledge those who helped them through the slower times.
I just want to thank the GBPA. From last year, ending of last year, we were told about the development of the harbor and here. And so they gave us a discount on our license for the full year. And then we also got a notice from the management of Bahama Land Investment. So we want to thank them also, too, for giving us a discount on our rent also, too. So I just want to bring that acknowledgement that they thought about the vendors.
Once again, officials say Phase 1 of the project is expected to begin in the coming weeks. We will continue to follow this development and bring you updates as more information becomes available. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Sherelle Dames.
Now to this warming story. The 12-year-old involved in the accidental shooting incident that left his 8-year-old brother injured in Bimini is celebrating a major milestone. Dexter Saunders Jr. graduated from Gateway Christian Academy as top achiever, describing the moment as bittersweet during his graduation speech. The young graduate thanked the community for its thoughts, prayers, and encouragement during what he called a difficult season for both himself and his parents. As he took to the stage to receive his recognition, Dexter was met with love, applause, and loud cheers from attendees.
Tonight is a night I never imagined would look like this. It is with bittersweet feelings that I grace this podium as the 2026 Primary Top Achiever. This achievement is not just mine. It belongs to the people who helped me along the way. My parents, my family, my teachers, and everyone who invested in me.
Additionally, he requested prayers for his family, particularly his little brother, who family members say is expected to make a full recovery.
Please continue to keep my family in your prayers, especially my little brother. We are believing in God for healing, strength, and better days ahead. Knowing that our community stands with us has given us strength when we needed it most.
In news from police in Abaco, police on that northern island are investigating the death of a 15-year-old following a marine incident near Manjaki on Friday evening. According to police, the teen was among 4 juveniles aboard a fishing vessel when he reportedly fell into the water. Despite a search effort by the Green Turtle Key Volunteer Fire Department, he was later found unresponsive and pronounced dead at a local clinic. Authorities say the victim sustained a fractured skull. Police say the group had departed Green Turtle Key around 7 p.m. aboard a 17-foot cobia vessel to go fishing. Superintendent of Police and Press Liaison Officer Nicholas Johnson says the teen was standing on the bow holding a rope when he reportedly fell into the water. The other occupants reported hearing a loud sound and seeing blood in the water before losing sight of him.
They were rescued from the water and brought into Green Turtle Key, where the local doctor saw and examined him. However, shortly thereafter, he was pronounced dead. This investigation is still active, and we are speaking with a number of persons at this time. As soon as more information becomes available and we have closed this investigation, we will update the public of our finding.
Now, a historic milestone unfolding at Holmes Rock Junior High School this morning as the institution hosts its first ever prize-giving ceremony and celebrates the class of 2026, the school's inaugural graduating class. The event marks a significant moment in the young school's history. Our intern Aaron Burrows was there and filed this report.
While it seemed like a typical prize-giving ceremony for the students of Holmes Rock Junior High School, this is a testament of discipline, dedication, and perseverance. Held at the 8 Mile Rock High School Gymnasium, 59 eager students preparing for their next chapter were greeted with cheers, horns, and excitement as they made their entrance. The graduates were gathering for a special ceremony celebrating their achievements and future aspirations.
As the first cohorts of students to attend the Holmes Rock Junior School, history will record you as being pioneers. Today marks not simply the end of a school year, but the successful launch of dreams, the successful launch of talents, and the successful launch of purpose.
Your future, your dreams, your goals, your potential, your rise. A rocket doesn't stay on the ground. A rocket is built to lift off.
Also in attendance were MP for West Grand Bahama, Kingsley Smith, and Minister of Foreign Affairs and Immigration, Honorable Frederick A. Mitchell, who delivered encouraging remarks to the graduates before the award ceremony commenced.
As the class of 2026, your choices carry a specific gravity. You are defining what is possible for Holmes Rock Junior High. The intellectual, economic, and cultural future of West Grand Bahama will be shaped by the caliber of your execution.
When you leave this settlement to go out into the world, when you go to university, I think you will really truly reflect what a beautiful place this actually is, and how you've been so privileged to grow up in an atmosphere of freedom and beauty all around you, and to be able to succeed in a secure and safe atmosphere.
From launch to legacy, destined for greatness is a perfect model for this graduating class. As they step into the next chapter of their lives, they leave behind not only a legacy, but a legacy that will inspire generations to come. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm intern Aaron Burrows.
Now, in the start of hurricane season, hurricane insurance experts are reminding homeowners that protecting property isn't just about weatherproofing, it's also about being financially prepared for the unexpected. Our Sherelle Dames has more details in this report.
As the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season gets underway without any immediate threats to the Bahamas, Director and Vice President of Freeport Agents and Insurance Brokers Donald Ward is urging homeowners to take advantage of the quiet period to review their insurance coverage and ensure their policies are up to date.
Your home insurance, what happens when the hurricane leaves and leaves behind damages? You want to make certain that you can replace your assets. So my number one theme would be see if you can purchase redemption insurance.
Ward says one of the most important steps homeowners can take is ensuring their property is adequately insured. He explains that with construction and replacement costs continuing to rise, policyholders should regularly review their coverage to make sure it reflects the true cost of rebuilding their home and replacing its contents after a storm. He urges residents to focus not just on having insurance, but on making sure they have enough coverage to protect their investment.
So you have to consider, when you're talking about replacement value, you have to consider that you need to replace it in today's terms, at today's prices.
Ward adds that as climate change continues to influence weather patterns, hurricanes are becoming more intense and costly. He says that makes it even more important for homeowners to ensure their insurance coverage is sufficient to recover from a major storm. And according to Ward, no one wants to find themselves in a position after a hurricane wondering how they will replace everything they've lost.
Things are made easier now because insurance didn't go up in the last 2 years. So there's almost like a flat line for insurance on homes, and the like.
Now, following some of the most devastating storms to impact the region, questions have been raised in certain circles about whether the Bahamas is becoming uninsurable. However, the Vice President and Director of Freeport Agents and Insurance Brokers says that is not the case. He explains that as long as there is no active threat from a hurricane or a tropical system, homeowners can still obtain insurance coverage for their properties.
We will insure a house that is in a good state of repair, period, anywhere on this island.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Sherelle Dames.
And still to come.
The April Crowther Foundation donating $10,000 to the Beacon School. That story, sports, and more when we come back.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
Calling all musicians, songwriters, and producers from Grand Bahama, enter the Welcoming Home Grand Bahama Song Competition for a chance to win up to $5,000. The theme is My Island, My Home. Deadline midnight, June 29th. Go to welcominghomegb.com for competition guidelines. KMW Battery and Tires has great deals on quality motor oils, starting as low as $5.50. Keep your engine running right for less. Call 351-2595 or visit today for service you can trust. It's all about fathers at Esquire Men's Freeport with 15 to 20% off store-wide and selected items at 50% off from June 1st to June 20th. Find the perfect gift for dad at Esquire, the best of menswear. Call them at 352-8816. This Father's Day, treat Dad to something special at Mary Ann's Restaurant and Lounge. Enjoy a delicious Father's Day buffet Sunday, June 21st from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Adults $50, kids under 12 just $25. Call 602-6969 or 813-6969 to reserve today.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics, what you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization, so if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. The Beacon School receiving a generous donation as guest speakers Trish Crowther and Thomas Crowther donated $10,000 to the institution during a special assembly under the theme, A Celebration of Partnership, Purpose and Gratitude. Vice President of the April Crowther Foundation, Trish Crowther, is responsible for advancing the organization's mission, which focuses on autism awareness, education in urban communities, and women empowerment.
The Beacon School is elated for this generous donation by the April Crowther Foundation. It will definitely go a long way in assisting our kids the resources that they need to succeed. We would just like to, tell the whole community that it's very important that we remember our kids with special needs. Many times they are left or the persons are and forget about them. Just want to let you know that we are here and we are planning to shine in the Grand Bahama District.
Principal T.T. McKinsey Moss says she's elated by the donation and is confident the funds will be used effectively to help keep the school moving forward. McKinsey added that it feels good to know that the school and its students have not been forgotten, noting that children with special needs are sometimes overlooked.
I think that sometimes when people hear special needs or they hear autism, they think that there's something wrong with the children. There's nothing wrong with our children. They have a superpower and they're very special and they have very sweet souls.
Day 2 in its recruitment remained successful for the gaming entity Ashore Win following its job fair at the Obadiah Wilchcombe complex on Saturday as the company continues its reintroduction efforts to Grand Bahama. Human Resources Manager Donna Colley-Pierre says there is still an opportunity for those who may have missed out to be a part of the incoming enterprise.
You can always send your resume to hr@ashorewin.com. We will then screen the individuals virtually. We're looking to have our opening by the end of next month. So we're really aggressively trying to pursue all applicants, moving them into candidacy, and then of course onto the onboarding training and then the opening process.
As the grand reopening day approaches, marketing manager of Ashore Win, Anthony Coakley, says the public can look forward to seeing even more from Ashore Win.
Moving forward, well, you're going to see some very exciting experiences happen as we launch our 3 stores, one here in 8 Mile Rock, in Hunters, and in Freeport downtown area proper. So there are going to be lots of street campaigns, lots of promotional opportunities, and of course, there are going to be ways for you to win big money and awesome prizes as we launch these 3 brand new locations here in Grand Bahama. Purple Nation is here. The invasion has started.
It's time now for your local health tip.
Most of us should know by now that diabetes is a chronic condition that affects the way our bodies break down and use the sugar and starch or glucose we eat. Type 2 diabetes is a disease more commonly associated with adults, but it is on the rise in children and adolescents, fueled largely by the obesity epidemic. While most children will show no symptoms, Others may experience increased thirst, hunger and urination, weight loss, fatigue, blurred vision, slow healing sores or frequent infections, or areas of darkened skin often found in the armpits or on the neck. If your child or teenager is at risk for type 2 diabetes, encourage him or her to eat healthy foods, get plenty of physical activity, and maintain a healthy weight. If diet and exercise are not enough for them, medications may be needed. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and remember, your greatest wealth is your health.
We salute our Facebook friend of the day, Anthelicia Campbell. Congratulations on your graduation. And that's a look at stories making news. Shane, what's happening in sports?
Well, Shalia Nakai Wilson, he was named to the junior national golf team. Plus, Shavonia Valcourt, she ended her collegiate career with 2 bronze medals.
Congratulations to those both. Well, that comes your way next.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at ZNS3news@gmail.com.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Guess what? Budget Pest Control has something important to show you. Cocta termites former Salus, the super termite. What makes them super? Their ferocious appetite can attack your home from below and above. They even attack forestry. But don't worry. Budget Pest Control has extensively studied this species on Grand Bahama. You can even check out our scientific paper. So you can count on us to protect your investment. Call Budget Pest Control, the termite specialist.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, at Shop Smart, at Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you came for. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Welcome to the ZNS Total Sports Cave, everyone. I'm Shane Stubbs. From breaking school and facility records to winning conference championships, it was quite the junior year for Shatalia Dorset.
I feel like I've gotten better in both my races, actually, and my start, like I said. Like, when I was a freshman, I used to be getting, like, beat out the blocks, and then my times freshman year, it remained the same from high school. So since I've gone to my new school, I've progressed better. I'm going to be working on bettering my times, lowering them. Hopefully I could run under 11 seconds and a lower 22, so we'll see how that goes. I'll be working towards that.
The Sun Belt Conference 100-meter and 200-meter champion is back home and preparing for the B3A's Junior and Senior National Championships, set for June 19th through the 21st at the original Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. With her sights set on earning a spot on a few national teams, she is looking to carry her success into the summer.
I never know how I'm going to run, so I'm excited to see like how much faster I got.
Staying with track and field, Javonia Valcourt closed out her collegiate career in style, capturing 2 bronze medals for the Tennessee Volunteers at the NCAA Outdoor Track and Field National Championships. Running out of lane 9 in the women's 400 meters, Valcourt raced to a personal best of 50.16 seconds to secure a top 3 finish. And she also anchored Tennessee women's 4x400 meter relay team to another bronze medal in 3 minutes and 23.75 seconds. Also competing in the relay was Abaco native Quincy Penn, who led off for the Florida Gators. The Gators finished 6th in 3 minutes 25.73 seconds, with the team earning first team All-American honors. And in golf, Grand Bahamas' Nakai Wilton has been named to the Bahamas Junior National Team, which will represent the Bahamas at the 48th Caribbean Junior Golf Championships in the Dominican Republic. Now, Wilton will be joined by Aiden Gorst, Carrington Rule, Luke Grimes, Madison Carroll, Shermay Pratt, Rashawn Hanna, A.D. Hall, Anissa Robinson, Archie Michelle Moore, Connor Stevenson, Zion Portier, and Zaire Portier. The team requires for competition on June 28th.
Well, that's my time. Your local forecast is next. I'm Shane Stubbs. Catch you all on the rebound.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Grand Bahama, get ready for the annual Welcoming Home Grand Expo presented by the Ministry for Grand Bahama. July 1st through 10th, experience music, culture, business, sports, and unforgettable celebrations all across the island. Mark your calendars and go to welcominghomegb.com for more information.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
So if you're thinking about it, just do it. You know, I was battling over whether I should do it or not, and I said, you know what, let me just make the decision and come out and do it. Like they say, you know, commit to be fit. And so I came out, and when I saw the results and I saw the improvements, I was just motivated to keep going and going and going. So I'm looking forward to the next boot camp. Great. So I'll be there. So if anybody's thinking about it, you know, if it wasn't good, I wouldn't come to the next one. So I will be at the next one. So I encourage you to come.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, $1 to protect every dollar. National security locks in an increased budget. Find out what programs, initiatives, and policies are being funded in the upcoming fiscal year. Plus, a domestic dispute leaves several families homeless tonight. And the U.S. Embassy issues a security alert. Find out which rental market will be impacted. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. National security taking center stage in the budget debate today as its minister laid bare the government's plan to strengthen law enforcement and enhance public safety across the Bahamas. As Lloyd Allen tells us, the focus is on delivering results in the fight against crime while building a more modern and resilient national security framework.
National Security Minister, the Honorable Miles Labrota, says since assuming office, he has found the ministry operating effectively while tackling a wide range of national security challenges, including transnational crime, digital fraud, cybersecurity, firearms trafficking, gangs, and the development of strategies to develop climate-driven displacement. Now, making his contribution to the budget debate, Minister Labrota pledged continued investment and funding to strengthen the ministry's security efforts.
Expansion of the CCTV network at a cost of $4,125,000. Purchasing security and communication equipment at a cost of $1,250,000. Investing in police and prison equipment, forensic, parole software, BDCS management, and canines at a cost of $4,900,000. Maintenance of the Marco Alert System at a cost of $610,746.
Capital expenditure also increasing for the ministry, now pegged at over $37 million, an increase compared to the previous fiscal year. The much-talked-about monitoring system for offenders on bail will also see an upgrade, with over $4 million being pumped into its maintenance. A significant sum is also being allocated to further enhance local policing.
Additional body-worn cameras and digital evidence management platforms will be deployed. Advanced DNA analysis, digital forensics, and cybercrime investigation capabilities will be expanded.
Another high point for the Royal Bahamas Police Force is the relocation of the Crime Investigation Unit to number 1 Montague Place on East Bay Street. While these changes are unfolding, Minister LaRota also highlights growth in maritime security.
Advance the radar installations in Eleuthera, Abaco, and Ragged Island, thereby expanding our maritime surveillance to 5 radars. We are grateful to the government of the United States for these donations. The National Drone Program will receive $1,880,035 for a new communication network to support all law enforcement agencies.
In the interim, he says the government is committed to even more resources to help bolster efforts to combat crime and address emerging threats facing the Bahamas. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, thanks, Lloyd. Meantime, the public gets its first detailed look at the government's newly created Ministry of Innovation and National Development. Leading the way, the Honorable Sebastian noted that a major priority will be to prepare the Bahamas for the use of artificial intelligence. Among the initiatives announced, the establishment of a national AI committee and the rollout of AI literacy training programs to equip Bahamians with the skills needed to compete in an increasingly technology-driven world.
They will be charged to draft the first artificial intelligence legislation and framework for our nation grounded on our values. This legislation, in turn, will establish the Artificial Intelligence Authority, a standing institution that will govern the safety, the responsible use of the technology, to set the guardrails that protect our people and ensure that AI grows more powerful over the oversight of our people.
Minister Bastian also revealed plans to implement a well-secured and safe national identification card.
A trusted and secure credential that would let Bahamians access services, sign documents, and receive what they are owed simple and safely. Less time, stronger protections against fraud, and a government that recognizes who you are wherever you go. We will build it carefully with privacy and security at its core, because a credential this important must earn the public trust.
A Free National Movement MP, Adrian White, using a portion of his contribution to this afternoon's budget debate to call on his parliamentary colleagues to ensure they provide timely, detailed updates on how capital grants are spent. Those grants are the funds allocated to each constituency annually. White says while he would like to see the figure bumped up, he believes there must be greater transparency and accountability.
I'm talking about what we do with our capital grant money. Our constituents should, on an annual basis, be made aware of it. That doesn't happen right now, to my knowledge, and this is, so far undisputed, the only instance of when any member of Parliament had disclosed the use of the capital grant money to constituents who live in the public. I'm actually petitioning, Madam Speaker, for constituencies, for members of Parliament to receive more on an annual basis than the $150,000.
Stepping away from the budget, the Bahamas takes a major step towards strengthening workers' rights and protections on the global stage. The country has officially ratified 3 key conventions of the International Labour Organization aimed at improving workplace safety and expanding maternity protections for working women. Labour Minister, the Honourable Pio Glover-Roll, handing over the official instruments of ratification to ILO Director General during a ceremony at the organization's headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland this past Friday. The ratification of Conventions 155 and 187 commits the Bahamas to upholding safe and healthy working environments as a fundamental right for all employees. Meanwhile, Convention 183 strengthens maternity protections by setting international standards for maternity leave, income support, health safeguards for pregnant and nursing mothers, and protection against workplace discrimination. Minister Glover Roll describing the move as a defining moment for Bahamian workers, saying the ratification ensures the employees benefit from international occupational safety standards, while working women receive modern maternity protections. Coming up, the National Airlines new travel fee. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this month.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The week moves fast. Move smart with KFC. Monday, start with crunchy deals. Tuesday, you already know, it's crazy. Wednesday, don't break the 20. Thursday, grab the Rap Star for $8.95. Friday, you made it. Grab the Crunchy Deals Value Box for $9.95. Saturday night, we got you covered. And Sunday, no stoves today. The fill-up box feeds the family. Outsmart the week with KFC.
Baked sandwich. I really like the honey mustard sauce. And then like the crispy bacon on it as well.
Oh, it's pepper jack cheese. I love the spice. I love the crunch.
I love the original sandwich, but just that simple addition of bacon was like over the top.
The chicken is really good.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I rate this a 10 out of 10. I'd eat this again.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
We go everywhere. Shop early at Janae's Chesapeake Road annual back-to-school sale going on now. Get up to 20% off on all school items in stock. Yes, all school items in stock. Shirts, jumpers, skirts, boys' long and short pants, school neckties, PE shorts, and a variety of colors and school monograms. Shop early and don't miss out at Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road's annual back-to-school sale going on now. Remember, we go everywhere. Beat the rush and save, save, save at Janae's annual sale now.
You're looking at a shot there of Arawak Key, home of the ever-famous fish fry, and to its right, the Arawak Port. That shot courtesy of our drone pilot, Shane Gibson. Well, welcome back. Multifamily Chippenham residents engulfed in flames, and the person allegedly behind the blaze in police custody. What started as a domestic dispute on Infant View Road quickly escalated this afternoon after fire consumed the apartment units of several families left with only the clothes on their backs. One resident telling our news team she was at work when she received the call. Inside the apartment, though, her young nephew and nieces, who thankfully weren't harmed.
I got a call from one of my neighbors saying that the apartment is on fire, so I rushed from work and I speed here. So by the time I got here, the whole building on top was actually burning down. And then when I tried to run to go into my place to get my stuff, they wasn't allowing me to get through. So I had to stand on the sideline and just watch the building burn down. What hurt me the most is that all my documents, my paperwork is in my apartment and they are all ruined. So it's like I have to start all over. I need the help. I don't have nowhere to stay. I don't know who I could call on to say, oh, Angie, just lay your head. So I do not know what to do.
A 23-year-old female police officer and a 27-year-old man in police custody tonight following an investigation into alleged extortion. Now, according to an investigation into the matter, began yesterday following a complaint made by a male United States national concerning an incident at the Nassau cruise port. While no further details have been provided, police have confirmed that both individuals are scheduled to appear before the magistrate's court at 10 a.m. tomorrow, where they will answer to charges of extortion. In other news tonight, allegations of murder, attempted murder, and aiding and abetting laid out in court today as two men appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Ansela Evans in connection with separate acts of violence here in New Providence. Accused of the crime, 24-year-old Haitian national Lusconder Jean. According to the prosecutor, Jean, concerned with another, intentionally and unlawfully caused the death of Aldron Stubbs in Elizabeth Estates on Thursday, May 28th. As if that weren't enough, Jean also faced charges in connection with the June 7th shooting death of Edward Major on Constitution Drive, as well as the attempted murders of Kenneth and Devin Woodside. Family members of the accused appeared visibly distraught as the charges were read in court. Jean's co-accused, Malik Hanna, also making a court appearance. It's alleged that the 28-year-old 3rd Street resident aided and abetted the murder of Edward Major, as well as the attempted murders of Kenneth and Devin Woodside on Constitution Drive. Hannah was also formally charged with dishonestly receiving a gray Honda CR-V valued at $21,000, the property of Anissa Dean. The cases will proceed to the Supreme Court via voluntary bill of indictment. In the meantime, the men have been remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. They are scheduled to return to court on Thursday, October 1st. Meantime, no one was arrested, but authorities are hoping that's short-lived after making a significant drug find over in the Big Yard Sunday. Acting on intelligence from U.S. counterparts, RBDF officers patrolled the western side of Andros near Fresh Creek just before noon yesterday and spotted several suspicious packages floating in the sea. Now, it turns out the packages were 12 crocus sacks of suspected hydroponic marijuana. Once taken to the RBDF base here in New Providence, the sacks were handed over to the officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit for a further investigation. It was later discovered that inside those sacks were 146 taped packages of suspected hydroponic marijuana weighing some 359 pounds with an estimated street value of $718,000. This is the RBDF's second largest drug recovery within the last 2 months. Well, it's now going to cost a good deal more for minors. That's ages 5 to 14 to travel unaccompanied on Bahamas Air, the national flag carrier making it clear that effective immediately, its unaccompanied minor fee will be increased to $100 each way. The charge, which will be added to the base fare, applies to both domestic and international travel. Meantime, the U.S. Embassy in Nassau is issuing a security alert that could very well impact the bottom line of local jet ski operators. In a recorded message, U.S. Ambassador Herschel Walker warned American tourists and residents about the dangers of renting jet skis here, as well as solicitations from jet ski operators near the cruise port, Junkanoo Beach, Arawak Key, and the small islands east of Paradise Island. As the ambassador sees it, oversight by authorities of those supposed official jet ski rental areas is sporadic at best. The U.S. diplomat's warning comes just months after Alaska Air National Guard Second Lieutenant Robert Rosa was killed while on a vacation in Nassau in a jet ski-related incident.
Many watercrafts are unsafe and operators are unlicensed and uninsured. That's why U.S. government employees are banned from renting or riding jet skis. We're working with the government of the Bahamas to address these issues. But for now, considering all the risks before you get on a jet ski.
We can also tell you tonight that the USS Nimitz, the world's oldest active aircraft carrier, made an historic visit through Bahamian waters this week. Senior Bahamian officials were invited on board for a tour of what's expected to be one of the ship's final air and sea demonstrations before its decommissioning. Now, Leah Cooper has the story.
Senior Bahamian government officials and members of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force were given a rare inside look at one of the United States Navy's most powerful warships during a visit aboard the USS Nimitz as the massive aircraft carrier transited Bahamian waters. The delegation joined U.S. Ambassador to the Bahamas, Herschel Walker, for a tour of the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, where they visited the ship's navigation bridge, toured the flight deck, observed live flight operations, and witnessed a spectacular air and sea demonstration featuring aircraft launches, flight maneuvers, and coordinated naval operations. The demonstration carried special significance as officials noted it was among the final air and sea shows to be conducted by the USS Nimitz before the legendary warship is decommissioned following more than 5 decades of service. Ambassador Walker said the visit highlighted the close security ties between the United States and the Bahamas.
This is the start of Freedom 250, that we can bring our friends, the Bahamians and the U.S. can come together on one of the greatest warships that ever built, the USS Nimitz, and they come together to show that we're friends, that we're going to protect the waters, and we're going to do it together.
National Security Minister the Honorable Miles LaRota was also among those on board. He described the visit as an important opportunity to strengthen the long-standing partnership between the two countries.
In the United States, we cannot have a closer partner. We are intertwined in so many ways in terms of our culture. Minister Colby would say there's an old Bahamian adage that when a Bahamian dies, he don't want to go to heaven, he wants to go to shop in Walmart. But we're a very religious country. But it's a pleasure for us to be here, and thank you for the continued support that the Americans have provided to us as a country.
Several U.S. Navy officials briefed the delegation on the ship's capabilities, its role in regional security, and the importance of cooperation with partners such as the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. Now, in its final deployment after 51 years of service, the Nimitz continues to play a key role in supporting regional security missions throughout the Caribbean. The visit comes as the U.S. Embassy in Nassau marks its year-long Freedom 250 celebration, commemorating 250 years of American independence while also celebrating the enduring friendship between the United States and the Bahamas. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
This portion of the news is brought to you by folk called Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Oh, isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? You haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit tdcbahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind. BAF has got me covered.
So get ready. This June 27th, YBE Promotion and Excalibur Entertainment presents The Season of Love Part 2 R&B Edition on the lawn of the National Stadium ground with performances by Get Ready for Joe. It's Joe performing live. Come and experience the undeniable voice of Kelly Price. Kelly Price comes to Nassau. Bahamas own ZNS, Fan Shaw, is Jimmy Cossier. Sometimes I love her. The legendary Brian McKnight. This will be an ultimate night of love. Saturday, June 27th, on the lawn of the National Stadium ground. Tickets don't sell now at Classy Cuts Hair and Nail Beauty Supply or online at YBEpromotions.com. For info, Skybox and VIP packages, call 242-427-8111 or 242-357-0116. Be there.
Andros is just not the largest island in the Bahamas. It is one of the most promising. We don't just want to develop on Andros. We want to develop for Androsians.
I emphasize this word partnership because you are partners. We cannot make decisions about this island in isolation.
I'd like to invite the panelists, Liz, Sarah, Jeff, Joel. The reason why we do these business outlooks is to raise these issues.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code. Select your payment amount and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Well, we've made it through another weekend, and we're counting on Royston and Marlena to get us off to a good start. So once again, this Monday. So what you have for us? It's coming up in Access Now.
We've always got good things coming up in Access Now. Tonight, we're looking at the wonderful opportunity Campus is offering for aspiring dancers, singers, and actors this weekend, in fact.
Yep, auditions are coming up, and I always feel like whenever you have an opportunity that's a little bit of a risk, my rule of thumb is if I go for it and I don't get it, is my life going to get worse? If the answer is no, take the risk, try, go out, and if you don't get in this year, you can always try again next time after you've practiced a bit more. Go for it, take the risk. What's the worst that can happen is it's the same as yesterday.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Some pretty good advice, Marlena, if I do say so myself. Do say so. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after this.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Tasha, what you saying? Girl, right here, rushing to catch J.S. Johnson. I gotta renew my insurance. Oh, I with JSJ too, but I don't wait in line. I just pay online. Stop it. How you do that?
Just email info@jsjohnson.com and say, sign me up for the online service center. They'll reach out and hook you up. You ain't never have to stand in line again.
Amen to that.
Save time. Pay online. Sign up for J.S. Johnson's online service center today.
Insurance, peace of mind.
Hi. Hello? Hey, girl. I have Wendy's. I'm trying to go to Essence Fest. Wendy's and Coca-Cola want to take you and your bestie to New Orleans. July 3rd through 5th is Essence Fest, and you could be traveling VIP style.
Roxy?
Tenders?
Tenders.
All you gotta do is upgrade any premium lunch combo 1 through 12 or a salad to a large, like a spicy number 6, add cheese and bacon, or a Dave's Classic, or my personal favorite, tendies. This will now serve as your final boarding call for Flight 735, service into Essence Fest. Boarding now. Nola! We coming back?
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Long Island, we've helped 77 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $1.9 million in approved funding, the SBDC is strengthening Long Island's economy by investing in its leading sectors: fishing, transportation, and agriculture. No matter the island, every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SBDC, Bahamas.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
At the arrival of Breeze Airways' inaugural flight at Lyndon Pinling International Airport, Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, and Chief Operating Officer at Tampa International Airport, John Tiliakos, called attention to the benefits of this newest link between the Bahamas and the U.S.
Well, this morning we had 120 passengers that landed in New Providence out of Tampa, and this deepens the interface between peoples. You have the Florida market, which is the strongest market for the Bahamas, and today we were able to welcome the first direct link with Tampa, which we have always seen very strong interest in terms of Nassau or the Bahamas, but no direct route. I'm advised that as soon as we were able to announce this flight, the website showed an increase of 45% in interest in this route. So this tells us that we are possibly and hopefully sitting on a mountain of interest coming out of Tampa into New Providence. And we try to say to our people, tourism is about how those who come from another place come and see who we are and what we are, to enjoy the spirit of our people, the beauty of our nation, our incredible culture. This is what tourism is about. And this morning, this launch with this flight, we believe and we hope will begin to open a door and a flood of interest and visits from Tampa, Florida.
This is the first jet service between Tampa and Nassau in more than 20 years. And I know that Breeze has launched with 2 flights a week. That will grow to 4 flights a week by next month. And hopefully we can convince Breeze to go daily.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
The Met Department welcoming a new crop of meteorologists.
Plus, the Delta Sigma Theta sorority champions literacy. Those details straight ahead.
Also calling all actors and singers. Auditions are open for the 2026 Kappa's fall semester. Stay close for that.
And your Monday sports report is straight ahead.
Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the start of a new week. I'm Royce and Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Welcome indeed. Now it's a pretty good time to be a sports fan. The New York Knicks are celebrating an NBA championship, and for a city that never sleeps, they definitely won't be sleeping anytime soon. And also, the FIFA World Cup is underway with millions of people around the world once again riding the emotional roller coaster that comes with supporting your team or your country.
Yep, that's right. And the beauty of sports, that's it right there. There's the emotional high of winning and the heartbreak that comes with every defeat. But every season and every tournament brings new hope, the hope that this could finally be your year. And along the way, you get the drama, the history, the defining moments, the incredible performances, and those little memories that people talk about for years.
Absolutely. And while most fans have their dedicated team, I think a lot of us have like a backup team. For me, that's England until the Bahamas gets into the World Cup qualifiers, and then Brazil. But last World Cup, I lost a bet that obliges me now to support France as a backup. So with that said, vive la France. Let's dive right into the news. Vive la France. 15 days into the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season, and the Bahamas Department of Meteorology is adding new support to its 24-hour forecasting operation. 6 new meteorologists are now joining the team at a time when the speed and accuracy of weather information can help shape how the country prepares for the next storm. Our Lyle Maycock leads us off tonight.
When weather turns dangerous, the public usually hears the warning. What they do not always see is the work behind it. Now, 6 new meteorologists are joining the Department of Meteorology after 5 months of training in Barbados, covering observations, instruments, weather codes, physics, mathematics, and forecasting support. Their return comes during hurricane season as the department continues operating around the clock. Acting Director Jeffrey Green says the new group comes at a needed time for the department balancing daily forecasting demands with long-term staffing needs.
Well, we are so happy to have 6 new observers. We have a cadre of observers that are aging out, and some are becoming forecasters, and we need to replace them.
For Grand Bahama native Kayla Black, one of the 6, the training in Barbados changed the way she looks at every forecast the public hears.
I thought they just forecasted the weather. I didn't realize how much work that they put into, how much research, how much studying that they really had to do. So that it isn't just going outside, looking at the sky and being okay, that's going to happen. It takes a lot of research, a lot of training, a lot of discipline and focus.
And for Cyan Bastian, the interest started with wanting to understand the storms that continue to shape life in the Bahamas.
That's exactly why I chose meteorology, because the hurricane, I wanted to know like what was going on, like why things were happening the way it was happening.
The department says these 6 new meteorologists will help strengthen forecasting as weather information continues to play a critical role in travel, marine activity, public safety, and hurricane preparedness. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lyle Maycock.
Thanks so much, Lyle. Well, from storms to stories, one sorority over the weekend brought together stories, service, and celebration, all in an effort to shine a light on literacy and the power of words. Shaquille Dames reports.
Today's initiative, organized by Delta Theta Sorority Group, is the result of months of planning and is designed to strengthen literacy among young Bahamians while also giving local authors a platform to share their work and inspire future generations. Southern Regional Directors of Delta Sigma Theta, Amaris Johnson and Noel Seymour, spoke about the program's significance.
Literacy is at the core of what we do. We have been supportive of education throughout the country, whether it be in the forms of scholarships, whether it be in the forms of tuition reimbursement, and of course, books to help support our young people and our adults expand their horizons and their knowledge through literacy.
This story is just to shed more light. I feel like a lot of times Bahamians, authors really don't know, have outlets to expose their books, and just to give more light to the hardworking authors who are writing and who are creative, give more light to them and their journeys and their work. We just felt like it was important.
The event also featured several local authors who shared their personal experiences and creative inspirations behind their work, each offering a unique perspective on storytelling and self-expression.
The book is highlighting confidence and self-love. So it is geared towards young girls. It's teaching them to love who they are, no matter how they look, tall, short, big, small. It's all about being the beauty that you are inside and out.
But my stories pick up after the stories in the Bible. So I just always wondered what happens next, so I made it up.
But it's okay, my pastor approves.
And I am a black girl, and again, I am from the South, so it just does rest. And I was raised in a home where boundaries weren't the expectation, but I was able to put those in place as an adult.
And organizers say the tour not only highlights local talent, but also reinforces the importance of literacy and representation in Bahamian literature. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Shaquille Dames.
Well, if you've always wanted to attend the Creative and Performing Arts School, now is your chance to audition for the Autumn 2026 semester. Auditions are now open to aspiring singers, actors, and dancers, and students are asked to step forward and showcase their talent. The first session took place on June 13th, and the second one occurs this Saturday, June 20th. Applicants must be 18 years or older with both full-time and part-time courses available. Interim Chairman Ian Poitier says campus isn't just for looking for polished performers. Instead, the focus is on identifying potential and helping students develop their skills through training. Poitier says whatever talent individuals bring through the doors, the goal is to build on it, enhance it, and help each student become the best version of themselves. And tomorrow we'll speak with Poitier some more about the continued growth of campus and how this year's auditions are going and how the program's first term was for the students.
Thanks so much, Marlena. Still to come, the Kingdor National Parkinson Foundation gets ready for this year's Charity Gala and Ball.
And of course, Diane Dorset has your Access weather forecast, so stay close.
We're learning, even playing, we're having lots of fun. We're working with each other until the day is done.
100 public high school students graduated from the Technical Cadet Corps program, earning City and Guild certifications and skills in an array of areas, including accounts, employability skills, electronic engineering, graphic design, and coding. During the ceremony, educational officials, TCCP administrators, and instructors congratulated the students.
The success we celebrate today did not happen overnight. It was built through hard work, sacrifice, teamwork, and vision. When the program was relaunched in 2023, we enrolled 120 of you. Today, you stand 100 strong.
Ministry executives commended the ongoing partnership between companies and the Department of Education.
I really want to first say thank you to our corporate sponsors for ensuring that our children have access to opportunities. One of the goals of the Ministry of Education is to ensure that children have access to high quality, holistic, and globally competitive education. And those 4 core pillars are undergirded by 80 initiatives.
And we are pleased that so many of our corporate sponsors, the staff there, had been graduates of this program, so they knew what this program brought to the table. But I also want to say thank you to Minister Gladys Anna Martin, because she always had the feeling that there needed to be inclusivity and that all of our children should be equally dealt with.
Johnny McIntosh for Ed Talk.
June 15th, and it's time for your Access weather forecast. Your quick look at what's shaping our weather for the next few days. It's been a beautiful Monday. It's definitely feeling a lot like summer, and looking at our satellite picture, what we're seeing are patchy clouds over the northwest Bahamas and a broader layer over the central and southeast Bahamas. We are expecting a few showers in parts of the central Bahamas just south of New Providence, and we definitely felt those showers yesterday here in the capital. Now, west of us, a trough of low pressure over northeastern Mexico continues to produce these organized showers, and conditions remain unfavorable for the development over the next 1 or 2 days. Now, elsewhere in the tropics, tropical cyclone development is not expected during the next 7 days. Now, looking at our 3-day boating forecast in the northwest Bahamas tonight and tomorrow, we'll get south to southwest winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. High tides at 8:58 in the evening and again at 9:19 in the morning. In the central and southeast Bahamas, southeast winds at 12 to 18 knots, seas at 3 to 6 feet. Therefore, small craft operators, you're advised to exercise caution. Then on Wednesday in the northwest and central Bahamas, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, seas are 2 to 4 feet. We'll get a high tide at 10:16 in the morning and then a low tide at 4:21 that afternoon. And finally, in the southeast Bahamas, southeast winds are 12 to 18 knots with seas at 3 to 6 feet. And that small craft caution still in effect. Now, here's a look at your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Hey mama, hey grandma, they coming from far. They coming from America and Canada. Hear me? Hey mama, hey grandma, they coming from far. They coming from America and Canada. Inviting you down.
That was your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance, and that wraps up your access for the forecast. But join me again at 11 for a full weather update. Have a great evening, everyone.
As always, thank you so much, Diane. Now, ball goers, get out your dancing shoes. The 26th annual Kingdor National Parkinson Foundation is hosting its annual charity gala under the theme Lean on Me. And here to tell us all about this year's event is the foundation's founder and president, Mavis Darling-Hill.
Thank you so much for joining us on Access Now.
It was a pleasure to be
wonderful.
given
So
this opportunity.
let's just start from the beginning. Can you tell us a little bit about the Kingdor National Foundation, Parkinson Foundation, and what you do for your work?
Okay, so Kingdor National Parkinson's Foundation was established 26 years ago. April is really Parkinson's Awareness Month, but Parkinsonians will tell you every day is Parkinson's Day.
Right.
So we decided to go with June, in that April comes the Easter period and people are traveling and everything is happening then. So we just said, you know, we'll go June. And we've been really encouraging the Bahamian people to take advantage of seeing their physicians as soon as they feel something is wrong. And so the signs and symptoms of that illness, that condition, is the first telltale sign is really the tremors. People will say the person has the tremors or the shakies or whatever. But so 87% of the time that persons are evaluated, diagnosed, is the tremors. And of course, this bradykinesia, the slowness of movement, and so that tells exactly what that's all about. Persons are moving very slowly, frightened that they may fall, that type thing.
Right.
And then there's instability of the body. Some people just cannot get their bodies straightened up. They walk with a hunch over, as you call it, okay? And then handwriting is another very important part of it too. People who, and as the disease progresses, all of these things don't happen all of a sudden. It goes in stages, and no two persons have the same stage of the condition, like any other illness. So yes.
And I want to ask you, of course, the Parkinson Foundation Ball is one of those vital balls that support the efforts and the works of the foundation. Can you tell us about this year's balls and maybe what participants or attendees rather can expect and all the excitement?
Where we can get our tickets.
Oh, they can expect excitement. Let me tell you, when the guests come to the foyer, they will be escorted to the red carpet, where they take pictures, beautiful pictures. And of course, after that, there will be other areas where persons can go and take pictures, but that is going to be the main site. And of course, we have a jazz singer. I'm not going to tell the name because we don't want to give you all the goodies, okay? We want to give you something to be excited about. So we're encouraging people when they come to make friends.
Right.
To meet people, not stuff in one corner and stay there for the rest of the night. Of course, you're going to dance, but we want you to dance and have a good time. But meet people. So that would happen in the foyer. And when they go into the ballroom, the music is going to be great, coming from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force.
Oh, there you go.
There
you go. We said the same thing. There you go.
Yes, they're going to be fantastic. And we also have the Essence Band. I can tell you more about them.
There you
the
go.
Essence Band is very, very popular.
Absolutely.
And they're excited about them. They have been fantastic in terms of encouraging persons to even get in touch with me concerning tickets. And so the Essence Band. We have someone by the name of Stefan Legend, who will be doing live painting throughout the night. Yes. And he comes with beautiful colors, and so it's very, very exciting. You'll hear more about it then. And then we have, at the end of the night, we are looking at the legend, the dance group, the Junkanoo Rush Out. They're going to murder me. Yeah, but they will be around to the Falcon. It's a Falcon group.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds like an amazing
We're gonna have a
all
rush
around.
out at the end of all that, but it's gonna be a fun 5-course meal.
Fun and for a good cause.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And a wonderful course. We don't want people to think for a moment that the monies we receive is going to take care of everything.
Right.
It's really, really charity, but we don't get anything out of the deal, so to speak.
So this is how we can have a party and make a difference at the same time.
So we want people to more or less understand what Parkinson's is all about, okay? When the cells in the midstream of the brain die or become impaired, Parkinson appears. Now, we still do not know the cause or cure.
Right.
Okay?
It's all about early
The researchers
detection.
are all over the world looking at Parkinson's disease.
So critical. I feel like we need to have you on
Again,
another
just
show
to get in deeper,
just to get
yes.
in depth about the disease itself and what can be
Yes.
done in terms of ailments and
Yes.
helping. So we'll have to have you back. But we thank you
Thank you so
for your
much
time,
for coming.
and look forward to the event.
And stay with us. Sports with Swanson Gibson Jr. is up right after this break.
Join us Sunday, June 28th at Rawson and Parliament Square for the Independence Beat Retreat. Celebrate the 53rd anniversary of Bahamian independence with an evening of culture, entertainment, and spectacular performances. The Cultural Village opens at 3:30 p.m., showcasing the best of the Bahamas. We'll see you there.
Scotiabank knows your first home is where you finally get to say, "This is me." It's where memories grow inch by inch. It's where hosting creates income and where your home can become a business. Or it's where little feet take their very first step into a future you've worked so hard to build. And we know how important it is to capture those special moments. At Scotiabank, our goal is to help you find a home for your first.
Some home items don't get enough attention until the wrong one fails. Let's talk about ladders, tubs, and toilets. A good toilet isn't just about looks, it needs a strong build, smooth flush, and easy clean. These are built for daily use, and they're strong, modern, and reliable. Next, ladders. Whether you're fixing, painting, or working, your safety matters. It has a strong frame, a solid step, and proper grip. Whether you're fixing, painting, or working, your safety matters. A tub should feel solid, comfortable, and easy to clean, not thin and flimsy. These tubs are made to last and make your bathroom feel better the moment you step in. If you want strong toilets, ladders, and quality tubs, visit We Buy You Sell on Robinson Road. Send a WhatsApp to 636-8412 or shop online at wbusbahamas.com.
Step inside a world of adventure with Mandalorian and Grogu at Burger King. See The Mandalorian and Grogu only in cinemas.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you can be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one, the car say bop, and you can be mad at us. You can be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. Your car, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
Welcome to your Monday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Swanson Gibson Jr. Topping sports, Bahamian sprinter Javonia Valcourt takes the podium at this year's NCAA Division I Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Valcourt, representing the University of Tennessee, claiming bronze in the women's 400-meter final with a time of 50.16 seconds, a lifetime best for the young sprinter and second all-time in program history.
It means a lot that I've made it to the NCAA championships every year since my freshman year, but I've never made an individual 400 final before this season, so I'm really happy to finally made the final and came away with a bronze trophy. In my last year, it was really, really special to me. It shows that all the hard work, setbacks, and lessons over the years were ultimately worth it.
Valcourt doubling up on the bronze, pushing her squad to a third-place finish in the women's 4x4 final, clocking 3 minutes, 23.75 seconds. She reflects on her collegiate athletics journey.
It's truly been great. I've grown so much both as an athlete and a person, and I've had the opportunity to compete at the highest level. There were definitely a lot of challenges along the way, but I feel like those moments made me stronger and shaped me. And I'm very, very thankful for everything the sport and my collegiate experience has taught me.
And what's next for the young sprinter?
This weekend, I will be competing at the Bahamas National Championships, and I'm just excited about that opportunity and just looking forward to continue representing the Bahamas.
And speaking of nationals, B3A's President Dramico Archer discussing the significance of this year's nationals and time trials set to take place this weekend in the nation's capital.
Our national championships will really be the telltale sign for our junior program. All athletes receiving government subvention and all athletes wishing to be considered for government subvention must participate at the nationals. There will be no exceptions to this policy. There will be no acceptance of medical slips. Either you show up or you're not considered for team competition.
From the track to the gridiron, the Bahamas Flag Football League's postseason resuming this past weekend over at the Roscoe Davies Field, with several women's and men's teams looking to inch one step closer to the championship round. In the first semifinal matchup, the Hawks had a physical and tightly contested affair with the Avengers, edging them out 8-7.
They beat us twice in the regular season, and we were determined not to let them beat us a third time. So we just went to the lab, we did our film studies, we practiced, and we came out here to get out with a W. Following that game, Team Red Dot would escape the Hornets with a thrilling 14-13 win. The Wildcats absolutely obliterating the Aces with a 19-0 shutout win, and the Predators would best the Renegades 12-7. The women's and men's championship matches are set to occur this Sunday at the Roscoe Davies Field. And the Bahamas Basketball Federation naming its official coaching staff set to lead the Bahamas senior men's national team next month as they prepare for action in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers, America's third window. The staff features head coach Mikhail McLean, associate head coach Lurals Tumtum Nairn, assistant coaches Charles Allen III, Michael Thompson, Nashad Mackey, and video coordinator Willis Mackey. Team Bahamas is set to do battle with Jamaica and Puerto Rico on July 3rd and 6th at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. Still on hoops, Jonquel Jones and the New York Liberty picking up their 7th straight win as they hosted the Washington Mystics on Sunday. JJ posting 20 points, shooting 64% from the field and 50% from deep. She also tallied 3 steals and 2 blocks to help get an 86-64 win for her squad. After Sunday's game, Jones now sits 3rd all-time in rebounds in franchise history, and her team now prepares to play in the Commissioner's Cup Championship game, set to occur June 30th. And finally on the green, the Bahamas Golf Federation naming their squad for the Junior Golf Championships, set to take place in the Dominican Republic from June 28th through July 3rd.
We have a 14-member kids that will be playing, and we have 3 administration going with the team, and we expect to come back, of course, as the 242 to be first in place as we placed second last year.
Several of the competing young golfers expressed their excitement and optimism ahead of the Invitational.
I feel like we have really good players and we should take the trophy home this year. I've worked hard and to know that I've got this and that I can contribute to the team as well.
I feel great. I feel like my contribution to the team will be felt this year, and I put in a lot of work to make the team, and the work doesn't stop to contribute to the team this year as well. I look around, I see my teammates, and I see a lot of great golfers, willing to put in the work and make sure we claim the trophy this year.
And that's been a look at your sports on this Monday. I'm Swanson Gibson Jr., signing off until tomorrow.
At Cartwright, our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges. Guaranteed low pricing on every item, every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2% rebate up to $500. Cartwright members get discounts at other participating businesses. So that's a lot to smile about. Whether it be clothing, appliances, home goods, or groceries, shop at Cartwright, where membership truly has its privileges.
Save today, save tomorrow, save each and every day at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. JBI long grain or parboiled rice, 5 pounds, $2.89. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounces, $2.39. Whole chickens, $1.99 per pound. Sweet seedless watermelons, $7.99 each. Sweet pineapples, $5.99 each. Whether you're shopping for the week, the day, or stocking up for hurricane season, nobody saves you more than Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Introducing Valvoline Restore and Protect, a first-of-its-kind innovation that returns pistons to factory clean, removing up to 100% of deposits, restoring your engine to perform like new. All new Restore and Protect, another first by Valvoline, distributed by Battery and Tire Specialists.
As always, thanks for joining us this evening, and that's going to do it for us here on Access Now.
Stay tuned for the rundown with Howard Grant.
Good night, everybody.
I don't know, but there's all kind of cars in the parking lot, but you ain't even know where to park. Yeah, just don't park in the, look at this way. Like, he ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park him, just don't park in the handicap spot. Yeah, that's handicap. No, man, you can't park in the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now, this way park here, man. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bar big broke, and he got a sticker inside that say this mod though. We gotta move, this is a handicap spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move, don't, we can move right now, sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
Here are a few things that you can add to your hurricane kit to give it a much-needed upgrade. Portable power banks, solar chargers, solar-powered radios, and similar items. While you're at it, make sure you're stocked up on the regulars, battery-operated radio and flashlight, additional batteries, a comprehensive first aid kit, along with 2 weeks of medication. Be sure to add life vests for family members and a toolkit. There should be 1 gallon of water per day for each member of your family and non-perishable food. Be sure to secure important documents like banking and insurance information and government-issued identification. And pay close attention to the ZNS network for all your weather updates. If this seems like a lot, think of it as survival through preparation. This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
28th at Rawson and Parliament Square for the Independence Beat Retreat. Celebrate the 53rd anniversary of Bahamian independence with an evening of culture, entertainment, and spectacular performances. The Cultural Village opens at 3:30 p.m., showcasing the best of the Bahamas. We'll see you there.
In Harbour Island, North Eleuthera, I'm Charles Fisher. This is ZNS.
Good evening. I'm Howard Grant, and welcome to the Rundown right here. We're starting another week. It's so great to have you with us, joining us. Well, we're here. We're officially beginning the third week in June, which really means that it's the third week of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. And while there's no threat to our country now, it doesn't mean that the Disaster Risk and Authority isn't working hard to prepare whatever Mother Nature or whenever Mother Nature strikes. All right, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, NOAA, is forecasting about 8 to 14 named storms, winds at about 39 miles an hour or higher. Of those, 3 to 6 are forecasted to become hurricanes. And that's winds of 74 miles an hour or higher, including 1 to 3 major hurricanes category 3, 4, or 5, with winds of 111 miles an hour or higher. With that said, joining us tonight is the Managing Director of the Disaster Risk Management Authority, Aaron Sargent, who will give us an overview of the organization's agenda for this year's hurricane season. Mr. Sargent, welcome to the Rundown, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
Talk to me about these things now. Let me know exactly where we are and give persons sort of an overview, synopsis of the organization.
So based on and I think you started off with talking about some of the climate outlook for the 2026 season, all signs point to a below average season, but it does not mean that the risk is still not present. As you can see just today, the Department of Meteorology released a heat advisory. We noticed that it's extremely hot. With this, the presence of El Nino is anticipated that we will have greater hot spell days. So while the presence of hurricanes may have diminished, the conditions are still favorable for just one. And so we encourage residents to not let that guard down. It does not mean a below average season doesn't mean that we won't have a hurricane. You know, while we pray and we, ensure that we do the things that makes us prepared for any natural hazard threat that comes our way, we have to ensure that we protect what matters to us.
Talk to people about this sort of a concept and idea about El Nino. I know we would have seen it, what, a decade or maybe 2 ago?
Yeah, I think it was
some time ago.
Last season is about 1997.
1997. I remember it.
Yeah.
I was in school, we was talking about El Nino, we thought we were going to die. It was leading up to the kind of a Y2K thing. Tell people about what El Nino is all about.
So, I mean, based on what the guidance from the Department of Meteorology, we just had a major Caribbean Regional CARICOF Summit, which is all of the scientists, the meteorologists, the hydrologists, talking about what does El Nino mean for us. It's a weather phenomenon that exists, and I think based on all accounts, the probability of it occurring is about 65 or 66%. And what it will bring, I think that's where really our focus is what it will bring, which is heat, excessive heat. So during the periods of August and September, or even July, we may have greater hot spell days. And so we're looking at 30 plus hot spell days when the norm is about 20. And so you can see those are conditions for sea surface temperatures for hurricanes to rapidly intensify, which is why, even though the prediction is a below normal season, we have the environment that is conducive to rapid intensification. That's why we don't want Bahamians to let their guards down. It would also mean a much wetter winter. So there's an anticipation for the Northern Caribbean to have greater rainfall in the latter months after the hurricane season, similar to like what we experienced with Tropical Storm Imelda, which brought torrential downfall in our islands. And so these are the things to be cognizant of. And then also, one more point, the winter is expected to be a little bit more colder based on the accounts from the meteorologists and hydrologists. So again, we have to now, look towards continuous preparation, continuous ensuring that we are resilient and we are able to manage any of these threats that come our way.
Tell me about while you're talking about the resilience and the manageability and so forth and so on, tell me about the DRMA's concepts, ideas, their current position in terms of how they're going to be able to deal with this, coupling this with this kind of a position that's associated with El Nino, knowing that it's going to be hotter, then it's going to be cooler. How do we now combat those things, or how do we get the populace prepared for this?
Well, first and foremost, I think the goal of the authority is to continue growing. Our operations don't stop just because I think a lot of the focus is around hurricane season, but our work is continuous. So immediately after the hurricane season, we go into preparedness mode, and preparedness mode for us looks like ensuring that Family Island administrators have the capacity to be able to manage at their levels. We want them to have the ability to manage at their levels, and their risks are uniquely different. So you might see something different in the southern islands as well as different in the northern and central islands. And so we are trying to build capacity. We recently just had 8 regional disaster readiness exercises. Those focus on building the capacity, exposing gaps and areas that we allow the administrators and their teams to kind of provide their own solutions, tailor-made solutions for. So continuous growth from our end. We're continuing to build on our communications platform. What we realize in disaster management, communication is key. So that, being able to manage communication throughout our archipelago is a daunting task. And so maintaining that communication so we have the proper data to make the decisions is where we are focused on.
Tell me about that. As you talk about communications and talking about the Family Islands in retrospect, what are the things that you would have actually learned from last hurricane season or hurricanes before that that you can actually apply to and say, okay, hey, listen, this is the sort of the path that we got to take now?
So data it's so critical for us to have the data on each Family Island. We're continuously building on the data that we have. So I think Hurricane Melissa was really a good test case for us in terms of mass evacuation of residents if the need arises. One of the things that we discovered is we have a lot of challenges, and well, not challenges, but unique landscape. Most of the runways in the southern Bahamas are short. They don't have the requisite firefighting equipment for larger aircraft to land. And so it made our exercise that much more challenging, but we were able to manage and figure it out. And so now going forward, what you'll see is some greater, faster, more efficient ways for us to get our partners involved. We're looking at signing MOUs and agreements, pre-positioned agreements with aviation partners that would allow us to move quickly to get residents to safety.
What are some of the primary concerns that you have in the DRMA?
I think for the most part we could always do with more financial support. I think that is critical, but I can tell you the government is moving quickly to kind of address those matters. We are working around the clock to finalize the disaster emergency and disaster prevention funds regulations and operational guidelines. Those, based on this budget cycle, are now seeded. The emergency fund, based on our comprehensive financial strategy, has about $17 million in it, and the disaster prevention fund will be seeded by approximately $6 million. This would help us in our ongoing programmatic and thematic work throughout the disaster risk management space. So it means that local government practitioners, the DRM authority, our team members, we will be able to now utilize those funds to action those programs.
Tell me how the team looks again. Local government, police officers, all the uniform. Tell me what the...
So from when you talk about a disaster perspective, it's at the national level, it's the Interministerial Committee on Disaster Management led by the Prime Minister. That becomes, during disaster times, the Emergency Council, the National Emergency Council. The authority plays the role of secretariat. From the authority, which is at the national level, we then have the local level, which is led by the administrator. The administrator is supported by what you call a Disaster Risk Management Consultative Committee. That committee comprises of all those individuals that you just named. So the law enforcement agencies, local government practitioners, volunteers. A lot of volunteer firefighting services are big on Family Islands, and so you would see a heavy inclusion of volunteer firefighting volunteers in the Disaster Risk Management Consultative Committee process.
Well, this is an exciting stuff. I really want to be able to find out more about this. I want to find out more about this emergency fund. You know, it's get people business quickly.
Yes.
$17 million, what was the expectation? The last time we would have been able to see Hurricane Joaquin, and the Prime Minister have been able to just see in the aftermath. If you remember, during this particular time, the Prime Minister just flew over and said, okay, this is about $60 million. Comes out, it was about $100 million. Yes. What is the $17 million emergency fund expected to do? Is that just for transportation, the persons to get back and forth? Talk to me about it.
So what the fund is basically based on global benchmarks. And so what it's pegged to is a comprehensive financial strategy based on a 1 in 200 year storm. And that is the minimum amount of threshold that we're supposed to have that helps us to start the immediate response to.
So so the 1 in 200 year storm would be a Dorian.
Yes.
Okay.
And so along with that $17 million, you also have credit contingencies that come from the IDB, the government of the Bahamas, that bolster our entire response effort. And so, you know, that number is supposed to grow as well. It's not a stagnant number. It's supposed to grow. There's an investment component in it, which we are finalizing those regulations. And that is to support the work of our immediate work in response. So that's between the 1 month to 3 month phase after a threat is passed.
Well, this is exciting stuff. So with the $17 million, I just wanted to be able to get just a little touch in this particular thing. $17 million of persons being able to find out, they got to be able to transport, they got to find some place to stay in the aftermath of the storm,
and that's
be able
not
to
it.
do these things,
yeah.
Right? So this encompasses within that particular fund?
Yes. So any what we call ex-post action, meaning after the storm has passed, that is funding that is available to the authority for rapid use. One of the things that occurred before, one of the lessons learned from Dorian, is ready and available funding. So that $17 million is available today if an event is bearing down at our footsteps.
From the authority?
Yes.
You know, what's crazy said, as you talk about these particular things, the first thing I thought about was Dorian and how we had been able to go to Samaritan's Purse and look for friends and family and, you know, well-wishers all around the world to be able to support us in being able to survive days after the storm. Can this alleviate that?
So it's not meant to alleviate. It's meant to work in tandem. So we still have those partnerships still alive.
Yeah.
A part of our new legislation calls for, well, the establishment of a non-governmental consultative committee, which we have already established, that helps us to manage the relationships with NGOs, partners who want to come and support the work that the government and augment some of the challenges. I think the last, most interesting case when you would see non-governmental partners and bilateral partners come in and support is in Hurricane Melissa, during times where we had global support and development come in to provide us with support, to provide water, small items for the family islands that are in need. And so, you know, it's meant to work in tandem. During times of crisis, that is the global benchmark for us to start off and then continue our response and recovery efforts.
Talk to me about training. I know that we got to take a break real soon, but talk to me about training. There's sort of a concept, an idea, especially what we would have seen coming out of Dorian, the lack of preparedness that exists in those particular spaces, even this sort of idea of the assessment that exists in those particular areas. Talk to me about what are you doing now? We saw the scurry, we saw the development of the authority, we saw the necessity for these particular things. What are you doing now as an established organization to be able to get you to that position?
So capacity building is key. As you heard us talk about earlier, the expansion of our national exercise. So we had one national readiness exercise 3 years ago that is now expanded. We have, in addition to the national exercise, we have done 8 regional exercises where we go to the administrator and we help them to build capacity, which is supported by U.S. Northern Command. So that helps the administrator to learn key skills on shelter management, training, etc. How the ability to respond, the ability what to communicate, how to provide us with that initial assessment that allows the authority and the leadership of the country to make proper decisions when it comes to disaster preparedness. We've also just recently finalized a shelter management training with the Department of Social Services that, again, sponsored by some of our good key non-governmental partners. Today we came from a training on developing an intuitive new information database system. That's where... And you
say intuitive?
Yeah, intuitive meaning...
You're saying AI?
Yes, using intelligence to help us in driving how we utilize data, how we collect the data, and how we make decisions from it.
This is exciting. I got to tell you that one of the things that pops up, and you know, I don't necessarily do this on the fly, but I've been doing this long enough that there's some concerns that exist. One of the concerns that exists, especially out of Abaco, and more specifically out of Grand Bahama, from Grand Bahama, you would have been able to see places designated as shelters that weren't worthy of being identified as shelters. You see what I'm saying? And only for the grace of God that you didn't see like mass casualties. But these places, they got runs in the bell course. They got, you know what I mean? Like, talk to me about that. How do you make that assessment, post-Dorian especially?
So that's one of the things, that's one of the critical things that I think we have resolved at this point. When we came in, one of the things I questioned is the integrity of the shelter listing. I'm not saying that it would, we had a perfect system, but what we did was expand the inspection and assessment process to provide us with the data that we are now able and comfortable to sign off to say this is what this shelter is capable of doing. It is capable of housing X amount of people. It can withstand up to this amount of winds. With the changing building code, shelters now need to be built to withstand 200 miles per hour. So a number of the shelters are built to withstand Cat 3, Cat 4 storms. So we now have that tiered rating.
And this was from 1992?
No, building code is adjusted over the last, I believe, 2 years, 2 to 3 years in terms of shelters, yes. So, you know, even down to my operations center, that has to be what they call the Ministry of Works a Risk 4 profile, which is 200 plus mile per hour winds.
Really?
And so we've incorporated that.
And that's just over the last decade, being able to identify.
Yeah, and that's, again, lessons learned from Hurricane Dorian.
Wow.
And so increasing that, and then also understanding how many people, how many Bahamians can we shelter during times of disaster. That number is now at roughly 3% of population, roughly 14,000 people. The goal and target for us is about 10% of population. And so it means we are pressing
40,000 people.
Yes, and agitating for the increased building of new shelters, and particularly the Southern Islands. We know that's where the capacity.
There has been this sort of a conversation post-Dorian about the concept and idea of being able to strategically put shelters in place in the city of Nassau and in other places. How's that going?
So we are working with, again, our external partners, the Ministry of Finance, to develop a program to build out additional shelters to help us build capacity. So we are pushing. And of course, these have to be multi-use facilities that can serve the communities that they are built in, but at the same time provide a safe haven for residents during those times of threat. And it'll also help us to reduce the times when we have to do evacuations. The reason why we have to do evacuations is because at some point, the assets on the ground in terms of shelters are not up to the standard that we would wish them to be. And so we would rather ensure that people's safety is paramount.
Dorian taught us a lot.
Yes.
Dorian taught us a lot. And especially those persons who would have stayed behind in Abaco and say, no, we could ride out the storm. My God.
Yeah, we're no longer seeing people do that, though.
Ride what?
Yeah.
No way.
We are seeing people from the evacuation orders that we have given over the last 2-3 years. We've seen people take it seriously. Even before we issue it, we get...
and that's crazy. It didn't have to happen to them. Let's say, hypothetically, this is in Inagua or someplace further south. It didn't have to happen to you directly, but you know, get on a plane.
Yes.
Don't even pretend with this.
Yes.
Get on the plane.
Get on the plane.
Because we've seen Abaco and we were devastated as a country.
Yes, and these storms today are much stronger, much more powerful. Every year we're seeing records.
That's what I wanted to know. I mean, with this sort of a concept and idea, and we're going to take a break. We're going to take a quick break, right? But this concept and idea of El Nino and the application thereof, and even though we have these kind of 3 to 6 major storms being able to be identified, what is the probability of them being able to be intensified to a position like Dorian?
Right.
When we get back, we can just talk about these things. Guys, we're going to take this quick commercial break. We're going to be right back after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make it a date. Saturday, June 27, 2026, 7 p.m. at Atlantis Paradise Island. It's the Kingdom National Parkinson Foundation's 26th Annual Gala Charity Ball. Cocktails begin at 6:45 p.m. Food prepared by international chefs. Tons of prizes and surprises. Entertainment by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Pop Band, DJ Gary Super Johnson, and the Dynamic Essence Band. Once again, it's Saturday, June 27, 2026, 7 p.m. at Atlantis Paradise Island. If you haven't already purchased your ticket, give us a call at 242-477-3782. That's 242-477-3782. With your help, we can continue to tell those with Parkinson. We are not strong.
and I'll be your friend.
Started with our adoption by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
We figured that we could use the First Bahamas branch of Toastmasters Club 1600, an all-male club that specializes and focuses on developing young men for leadership through communication.
This program has grown and has impacted our school in such a positive way that I don't think we'll ever have them leave us.
Too often, instead of us looking within, we look outside for someone to blame. Go take a look in the mirror. Instead of trying to identify what the problems are, let's try and figure out how we become a part of the solution.
We are teaching these children how to dream beyond their community.
Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
Let's swim Bahamas, bring water hazards to an end.
Let's swim Bahamas. Water safety rule number 3. Do not duck or hold other swimmers underwater, use rough horseplay, or show off in or around the water.
Let's swim Bahamas, bring water hazards to an end. Water hazards to an end.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being able to join us. I'm Howard Grant. This is The Rundown. I'm sitting here with Mr. Sargent, all the way from let's see where you are, from Managing Director of the Disaster Risk Management Authority, Aaron Sargent, here with us, being able to have a very good conversation, being able to talk to us about these sort of concepts and ideas, and really getting to the position of talking to us what's happening. I'm very grateful that we kind of joined this conversation and we're diving into this. So talk to me about this. When we left off, we were in this kind of a position of being able to find out exactly what I want to know. What is the #1 request by the Bahamian people throughout the communities, throughout the constituencies, after a storm? What are persons being able to come up and say, hey, listen, we need some help with this?
Yeah, so I think most cases we see requests for tarp because of roof damage. We see requests for food. And then on the recovery end for assistance to rebuild homes. And this is exactly one of the reasons why we're developing a recovery framework.
At the inception, because the thing popped in my head like this. Okay? At the inception of the DRA, the Disaster Risk Authority, the Disaster Risk Management, and the ministry, and then eventually bubbling into the authority. At the inception, they were giving something like $5,000, $9,000, and after this massive assessment, did you make modifications to that?
Yes.
Praise Jesus. Yes. Okay, let me finish telling me.
And so, again, when you speak of the assessments and you speak of what was given the grants, one of the lessons learned, again, is having a framework in place that governs how the government provides support and assistance. One part of that is already completed. We have developed a national humanitarian standards and assistance, which governs how we provide care to residents in the Bahamas during and after the times of a disaster. The second stage of that for us is developing that recovery framework. So what does that assistance look like? What is practical? Because a part of the challenge is a number of residents, what we've seen in the past, would request support, and the funding is not there and ready and available to be able to sustain a mass recovery and build out. And it's not something that's sustained worldwide. Even when you talk about FEMA and you look at what they do during home recovery, they don't rebuild the entire home. They would probably provide you with a grant, an initial grant and assistance, and then you're provided with lanes to allow you to rebuild your home. Which is why we often encourage residents to, if you're able to, look at your homeowner's insurance, get it. I know it's sometimes costly, but it's a worthy investment because your home is something, a once-in-a-lifetime investment. And so, we encourage residents to take care, to take some special care and attention into their homeowners insurance, ensuring that they have the catastrophic clause in there, because that's another point. What we saw, a lot of residents did not have in their homeowners insurance clause that didn't allow them to get the support that's needed.
Well, I'm glad to be able to hear about those particular things. So you said that the #1 thing that persons ask for is tarp.
Yes.
Now, after the hurricane, years after, you can still fly over certain constituencies of certain communities and still see blue tarp.
Yeah.
Years after. Now, this has nothing to do with we're not talking politics. Yeah. We're talking remedy. How do we fix this? Yeah. How do we, is the $17 million to assist with this? Oh, no, right off the top. Let's just be very clear, Howard.
Disaster is just what it says. It's for emergency support to a response effort for that particular event. So those past events, one of the things I believe that has occurred is there's been some shift in some of those long-term recovery support systems, and so residents can look to go to the urban renewal from time to time to get some support. But again, these things are a work in progress, and what we encourage residents to do, rather than waiting on the assistance, is find creative ways to rebuild. I know a number of residents took the time and took the effort to rebuild themselves rather than waiting on, government support. And so while we work to build out a recovery framework and how long-term recovery looks like and how that is funded, because I think that's what's important, developing the frameworks that govern how governments provide assistance, whether that's in-kind assistance or a grant to rebuild your home or partially rebuild, because the government cannot rebuild everyone's home. That's just financially, it's not sound. We're looking at models. I believe Jamaica's a really good model in terms of how it rebuilt and how it offered assistance to residents. But again, it's not able to fund everyone's and to rebuild everyone's home. And so what we encourage people to do is prepare now, prepare today while we have opportunities. If you need to rebuild, seek out the necessary support that's needed, and repair some of those things that we know exist in our homes before a storm threatens our shores.
Let's talk about this. One of the things that actually popped up as you were speaking is the necessity for being able to tap into creativity. A lot of persons are out there. They need to be able to figure out ways that they can take care of themselves, take care of their families, whether that's security, pre, post, during, after any disaster, natural disaster. Talk to me about the creative avenues that you've taken within the DRMA, right? Talk to me about the avenues that you've taken and what you would have learned and so forth and so on. Now, you would have been able to give me nice nuggets here and there, but there has to be sort of an overarching thing that says, hey, listen, this is the creativity that exists in this particular spaces. Let's tap into this. Talk to me about it.
So one of the things that you would find that the team created was a free resource where residents could, I could ask you now, do you have a family evacuation plan? Do you have a disaster emergency plan? And what we find...
Everybody out the front door, let's go.
But do you have a secondary? Have you identified the shelter that you're going to go? Where's your nearest shelter? What's the route looking like? What to build to bring to a shelter?
That's crazy. I don't know whether or not we here, when I can speak for me, I don't know whether or not we here in the city of Nassau have taken this. I think we've sat in this kind of a position that we're nestled in the midst of our islands.
It takes just 1 hour. One major catastrophic storm. We've done flood modeling.
Pinewood can't take this, don't even talk.
I mean, it's not just Pinewood. And the seriousness of the matter is we've done modeling where a Cat 4 or Cat 5 Dorian-like storm hits New Providence. The entire southern corridor from east to west, underwater. Where I live will be underwater. So are we taking the necessary steps to understand where we are to go? What's next? So, do you have a go-bag pack? Do you have, life vests? We've seen in Dorian the harrowing pictures of people, in waters up to their ceilings. Again, taking the time to just simply do simple, small measures that will help to protect your family.
Even in Katrina, when we watched Katrina, and in Zone 4, what it was, Zone 9, Zone 4, something like that, in Katrina, the third war, and we would have seen people and the levees break and all these particular things happen. Persons drowned in their attics.
Yes. Yeah. Not having in your attic a pickaxe to cut through.
To cut through your roof.
Yeah.
People drowned in their attics.
And so literally you can find these on getready.gov.bs. This is a free resource that we provide to help residents prepare, looking and inspecting your yards, what to bring to a shelter. That's another thing that we find critical when residents go to the shelter. A simple thing, if you have kids, do you bring entertainment? Do you bring games? Do you bring their blankets? Do you bring those items?
I think this is a conversation that needs to be stretched far and wide, very seriously, because during the times of the hurricane, we would have heard disastrous stories being able to spill out of shelters that are churches. and the debauchery that happened in these particular spaces is just something that you need to be able to get persons prepared.
Yes, and which is why we, again, I said recently, just last week, completed shelter management training. It's an ongoing. We're now expanding it to the public. And so bit by bit, we're doing our part to kind of bring the capacity of how to manage during shelters, how to volunteer, how to provide us with support.
Yeah, tell me about that. Tell me about how to volunteer. How do I become a volunteer? All those persons who, at the last moment, God, tell me I got to help.
So one of the things that we're doing, though, is developing a system that allows us to vet. One of the things we don't want is to create another challenge, another disaster within itself. And so vetting individuals, ensuring that they have the proper training. So bit by bit, we're developing the training programs. So you'd see us roll out shelter management training, whether that's emergency operations center training, so being able to work in the National Disaster Emergency Operations Center with the likes of myself, along with our management team. Vetting individuals that they're
still on Gladstone Road?
Still on Gladstone Road for the time being. We're looking at some options, again, thinking futuristically, because God forbid if there's a storm, where we are will be displaced.
Media during the time of Dorian was crazy.
Yes.
And all of us continue to be able to flock down there to find out exactly what's what, and persons coming over from all over, and so forth and so on. I know that you got a hand of that. You got a hold of that, and you were able to identify, and something happened, we know how to do these things.
And where to go if God forbid that our main EOC is determined inoperable. Having secondary and third level options for us to be able to pivot. I think one of the key things in disaster management is the ability to have redundancies and then also to pivot. And so I think that's one of the challenges that we continuously on a day-by-day are trying to resolve within the authority. With the limited capacity, limited financing that we have, we're doing what we can to ensure that the country is safe during times of natural hazard threats.
Given the fact that we're in budget time right now, I know that those that are, who's your minister now?
The Honorable Mikhail Bonnaby, I believe he's on.
Mikhail Bonnaby.
I think he should be speaking.
And he's also the head of ZNS.
Yes.
Yes. So Mikhail Bonnaby, So I know that they are setting things aside for us to be able to have our budgets and make sure everything is set in place. And the $17 million plus the $6 million is taken care of for you. But I need to know, what is the course of being able to tap into more finances? Because this is essential, right? I know the persons are kind of, they get, indifferent when it's time to talk about monies. But this is the number one thing. You can't get no top paper without money. This is the number one thing that we need in the event that there is a disaster. Not this expectation to be able to wait to see if America shows up, or this expectation to see whether or not, and these are our partners, and this is no knock to them, whether it's Samaritan Purse America, whether it's World Food Program. They have done a tremendous, they did well with us, right? But if you remember during the hurricane time, right after that, we would have been able to see Notre Dame burn, if you remember that. And so the focus shifted, and we were left in this kind of a space. How do we do that? So let's talk about this. How do we now build the finances necessary to be able to sustain, to maintain, and to at least help persons to get to a position of dignity and say, hey, listen, okay, now we can do this.
So again, I spoke to the comprehensive financial strategy. That highlights what credit facilities that we have to offer. I believe based on once we have a national declaration of disaster, there are credit facilities that are available to us and through the Ministry of Finance that are in excess of $300 to $400 million. So again, the $17 million was immediate response. So when I say disaster emergency, I mean immediate response. And if we need to immediately evacuate individuals or establish a temporary shelter facility to be able to hold thousands of people, that funding will go, but that's only to start. The government of the Bahamas, through its various agreements, again with the IDB, we have a $100 million credit facility with them that immediately becomes activated once we have a declaration of disaster, which our legislation now has. And so that happens when we have a Cat 4 or Cat 5 storm that is impending on, and it's projected to hit multiple islands.
Just hear what you're saying, but a declaration of disaster or impending disaster, after there's a declaration, it doesn't necessarily have to be a hurricane.
Yes, it doesn't, no.
It could be a natural disaster.
A natural disaster.
It could be, well, let me not say that, because Baptist people watching, they can tell me, how would you know? But there could be any number of natural disasters. We sit in a fault. That's as close as I can come.
Yeah.
There are things that can happen.
Yeah.
And so if this declaration happens, we still have access to this $100 billion.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, multiple credit facilities that make up what we call our comprehensive financial strategy.
That's excellent, man.
Yeah.
I like this, man. Talk to me about this sort of an idea that's happening going forward now. Listen, we're in this kind of a position. We're seeing what the DRM has done. We've seen over the course, since the inception, with the first minister being able to be over this and how it's grew and matured and developed. And we've seen you take on this kind of the formality of what it should be. You've done very well. We're looking at these particular things. Talk to me about the next dispensation. Where do you go from here? How does it look going forward? You've talked about artificial intelligence, you talked about the incorporation of these particular concepts, you talked about tapping into creativity. These are all progressive thoughts, ideas, concepts, wording, language of a futuristic outlook. So there must be somewhere that you've looked and said, okay, this is our expectation, whether that's wrapped in the NDP, National Development Program, whatever that is. You had to look at this and say, in 15 years, we expect to be in a more solid position. Talk to me about that.
So, Howard, I would start off by saying, when you speak about the NDP and the work of the National Development Plan, we have commenced our own work that is to be included in the National Development Plan. We have developed in conjunction with what is called SEDIMA. SEDIMA is the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency. We have developed a country work program that takes us until 2030, which is when the International Sendai framework ends, and it is anticipated that it will be renewed in some form or fashion. That guides the work of the country on disaster risk management activities, not just the authority. We are part of it as one of the major stakeholders, but it guides the work. And so that whether that's developing all of the policy instruments that we talked about earlier, developing the next steps for capacity building. One of the key things that's on our agenda is the development of a national disaster risk information database that helps us to utilize intelligent tools to be able to help run or predict forecasts, have data sets that allow the authority to make intuitive decisions when it comes to being able to respond to
National Disaster Risk Database?
Yeah, NDRIS it's called, National Disaster Risk Information System Database.
What's the expectation to be happening? Who can access this? This is accessible to you?
This is accessible to us,
internally.
External partners who help us manage disasters. And so whether it's law enforcement, the meteorology department, the National Statistics Institute,
so let's just
Geospatial Center.
Let's just say hypothetically, there is a geomapping, right? So you geomap and you identify the highs, the lows, where it's prone for flooding, so forth and so on. You identify that. You use this information to make a determination to be able to put a concentration and say, hey, listen, this area needs to be able to get out now. This area needs to be able to get out now. And so
not just that. Also develop what the risk is, what the financial exposure is, so that we know ahead of time what is needed. So when you talk about financing and being able to underpin those decisions against the backdrop of data, the world is moving towards inclusion of data to drive decision making, and so we are likewise moving in a similar vein in terms of.
That's impressive, by the way. Just let you say that.
Thank you.
That's very impressive, because a lot of persons we know that we're in a society where there is sort of a tug, a push and pull when it comes to tradition and technological advancement, and tradition and technological advancement. And so this kind of a tug of war places us many times in a stagnant position. But you're moving forward with this sort of an idea of the technological advancements to be able to take us where we need to go.
Yeah, at every
Talk
phase
to me about that.
At every phase of disaster management, we are looking at creative ways to include technology. Whether that's how the team, once we are activated, take a situational report that allows my counterparts in other agencies to see that situational report to be able to reach and carry out or conduct a request that comes through. Simple things like that we are trying to expand on, whether that's using Starlink technology. We now have Starlink is also a major partner of the authority. We have kits
and Falcon 9
kits that are able to be deployed once there's a threat. We've worked with them, so now in terms of enabling the shelteree to have communication to ease someone who is maybe in New Providence, and they may have a family member in Agua that they cannot reach. being able to have that level of technology to support the work that we're doing, I think ease some of the burden of the...
You talked a lot about the intangibles, the concepts, the ideas, the creativity, the aspects of how you're going to be able to do these things, but you didn't talk to me about the tangibles, whether or not we're getting a helicopter, whether or not you're going to be able to get... Talk to me.
Yeah, I can't speak to the helicopter.
I know you don't want to talk to
But I can
you
speak
need
to,
one.
Hold on. I can speak bit by bit. We got to take bit by bit.
You can't get a bit of a helicopter.
Take incremental steps. So one of the things that we have just most recently last year, we got 18 off-road, what they call utility, all-terrain vehicles for wildfire fighting. They are being dispatched. We additionally added foam inductors to them. So to stretch the capacity, once those assets go into the wildfire zones, we're looking at some more unmanned ground vehicles that help we've heard some of the cries of firefighting services, especially the volunteer firefighters, that their trucks cannot go into the bushes. And so utilizing...
Their trucks?
No.
Hold on now. You're being decent, because we've heard some of the cries here too. And in some jurisdictions, some divisions, they don't have the necessities of being able to do this. We're watching things, you know what I'm saying? So we need to know whether or not you are a partner also in being able to agitate, advocate for those particular jurisdictions to be able to have what they need.
And so, one of the things we're doing is trying to do our part to utilize and leverage some of the relationships that we have to build that resilience, the ability to have unmanned vehicles go into the wildfire zones.
Unmanned vehicles is wild. Unmanned vehicles?
Yeah, they exist.
We know they exist.
They exist, and when you talk about financial costs, those on deck, which is what the authority is looking at supporting. Last year, the team and I would have visited a manufacturer who developed the first gasoline heavy lift drone that takes the place of a helicopter, which you asked for, that does the aerial drops. So we're advancing past some of the... Because
so you don't need helicopter?
I would suggest not, because the maintenance...
We could be sitting in Nassau
we could have a fancy helicopter.
Have a fancy helicopter in Anagua.
Yeah, but that's maintenance.
You are something else.
So the thought is to move into the unmanned asset that can now use technology, LiDAR, radar, and detect the heat spot, go straight to the heat spot rather than relying on a pilot. The pilot will be on the ground using technology.
Talk about advancement.
And so, again, that's some of the things that we are looking at, creative ways where we can support. We may not have big financial output, but using our reach to kind of build the support that is needed for all of our stakeholders, whether that's the Royal Bahamas Police Force, who are good partners, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, good partners, providing them with the necessary support, because they're always with us during times of disaster.
Well, let me take this commercial break. When we get back, we're going to find out a little bit more, wrap this thing up, tell you how you can become a volunteer, tell you how you can be able to participate. You ain't got to wait for the last minute, going down there and you're on there talking about, I come to help. Stop it. We ain't got time for that, miss. Let's just be able to get these things done. We can take this quick break, get right back with Mr. Sargent, find us more information.
Oh, you're still here?
But of course you are. But be sure to tune in every weekday at 7:30 p.m. for the Bahamas Tonight Access Now,
Where we bring you the brighter side of news.
Join us for the Bahamas Tonight
Access Now, weeknights at 7:30 p.m.
Mailboat service is a critical service to the islands of the Bahamas. Certainly, Andrews has always been there and dear to us. That's where we're born and raised. And so we play a crucial role in advancing the growth and development of Andrews. Customers want service and they want consistency. From the start, that's been our commitment. We work to sail on time every time. Our customers have come now to expect this from us. And one of the biggest challenges we've had was finding adequate funding. SPDC from the very start has been a lifesaver. My advice to young people, if you have a vision, a passion, an idea, go for it. Don't give up. It's not easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it. Be consistent and you'll get there.
This is a rundown. I'm Howard Grant, having a great opportunity, great time to be able to talk about all things bright and beautiful all things scary also, being able to talk about these things as it relates to hurricanes and natural disasters, and really being able to see ourselves prepared for them. I'm sitting here with none other than Managing Director of the Disaster Risk Management Authority, Aaron Sargent. Really been able to give us some very good information, talking to us about these sort of concepts and ideas, telling us all about how our tax dollars would buy unmanned drones. No, I'm just messing with you right here. But there's great concepts, man. It's really great concepts, and I want to be able to really commend you and the entire team, the DRM Authority.
Yes, good stuff.
It's a DRM Authority.
Perfect.
I just want to be very clear with you and let you know exactly what's what. But you have, from the inception, the concept and the idea, and this being able to be introduced to the country and being able to identify this as a political tool to be able to give someone else, or give the assumption, the idea of execution in these particular things. This is a small country. And so you see these things and you perceive something and not necessarily know it. The evolution of this particular concept and the incorporation, the talent that exists in this space, you know that this is world class. You know that this ain't Katrina FEMA. This, you see me, I decent, you know. This ain't, what is FEMA? This is top tier.
Thank you.
This is top tier. And I want to be able to commend you for that, commend your entire team, commend all those in authority for being able to understand the importance of being able to put persons in place with the requisite skills to do this. Because people don't really think about that. And I want to talk about this sort of an idea for persons who are out there, who are participants. There is a natural urge that actually propels you to move forward to help, especially when you see this sort of a mass disaster, right? Not just from an external standpoint, from an internal standpoint here in the country. Persons look at this and say, how do we help? How can I help, right? You don't have to wait until the last minute to kind of jump on board. If you know that your heart is in this sort of helping as a firefighter, helping as one of the persons in the shelters, helping in these particular areas. You know who this would be good for? My mother. She loved to get in things like this. I know my mommy watching me right now. She loved to do things like this. Tell me about how do we participate as it relates to being able to help before the disaster strikes.
So, Howard, you spoke, and thank you for the thoughts on where and the evolution of DRM in the country. Initially, oftentimes when we make presentations about where we're going, we make reference to what our predecessors were, and I heard you talk about and mention the NEMA, National Emergency Management Agency, the then Disaster Reconstruction Authority, and the thought was those agencies, were built for immediate response.
Yeah.
And they resemble Usain Bolt, sprint, quick fix, in and out, etc.
But this is a marathon.
Yeah, hey. You're in the spirit. You're in the spirit. And so we often compare it to the world's greatest marathon runner. And not to say that we are done working. There's a lot of work for us to do. We've spent the last 3 years since we are operationalized in 2024, hitting the ground, even while still managing active seasons. So every year, I believe, for the last 3 years, we had, not including this year, we had 5 activations of our Emergency Operations Center, which means, we work 24/7. I myself don't go home. We stay in the Emergency Operations Center.
You don't go home?
No, I don't. I won't leave.
Is this an agreement that we have home?
Yes, my wife. And
she's a decent woman, praise God.
Yes, they support me 100%.
Where you going?
I make sure that they're covered and they're protected, and I keep my eyes open for them. But again, and this is sacrifice to country. I mean, we have to, the work that we do, and I often tell the staff, the work that we do is to protect and save lives. That's the mandate that we have in the legislation. And so where we're going is...
It's hard. I have to cut you off there. During Hurricane Dorian, East Grand Bahama, Abaco, sitting over this particular space, there were calls going out all over the islands, those northern islands. We need help. People braving the storms, carrying backhoes and tractors through water after the government has already told you to evacuate and you didn't evacuate. Now we got to carry my whole backhoe and get salt water in that. You can help me fix these things.
Can't afford it.
Yeah? But I got to save you so I can get one pinned in church. Talk to me about this.
So Howard, I could tell you, and I've been saying it for the last 3 years, the legislation empowers the authority not to be held liable and first responders if you do not heed an evacuation order. So we don't take it lightly when you see the Prime Minister declares and issues an evacuation order. When the authority recommends...
Mandatory.
So there's some caveat, and it's not mandatory because there's some constitutional inferences surrounding it.
You can't tell the people do.
Yes. But be strong. And what we're seeing, though, I must say, I'm seeing a turn in Bahamians taking preparedness seriously. So when we had the, I think it's Hurricane Milton that touched Grand Bahama and I believe Sweetings Key, we saw residents before the order was even given. I got the calls, administrators moving and using buses to evacuate people from the docks to get to the shelters. So people are heeding it. The same thing happened in Tropical Tsunami Melda in Abaco. People moved immediately. We utilized the National Alert System, which again, thank you for the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Commissioner and her team.
That was all over our phone.
Yes. And we apologize for doing it.
No, why are you going to apologize?
But it works. And so, you know, where we're growing with that is to then do target alerts. So, for instance, Tropical Tsunami Melda would have shifted over Sandy Point, Abaco at 3 a.m. in the morning while we were in the EOC with the Department of Meteorology. The only way to alert those individuals who may have suffered power outages...
Hit their phone.
Hit their phone.
Bing, bing, bing,
and
bing,
it worked.
bing, bing,
Everybody got up. And so, you know, again, lessons learned from Hurricane Dorian. People are moving. When we issue the evacuation order, we encourage people, listen, the law now prescribes that there's no liability if a first responder doesn't come out for you.
Do we have first rights of refusal also? If I am at the front line, and maybe this is too strong of a question, but if I'm at the front line and there's somebody who needs some assistance and they're crying out for assistance and so forth and so on, and the winds are 115 miles an hour, 200 miles an hour, and they need help, I love them, bad.
We won't put the lives of our first responders at risk.
I can't do it.
Especially, again, once you see that evacuation order given, we'll give residents enough time. Again, Hurricane Melissa, we evacuated nearly 1,500 residents before the storm had actually hit.
I think the media does its part, both local and international, by being able to give the weight and possibility of what this can mean. We would have heard with Hurricane Dorian, we would have heard the intense nature of the storm and all these particular things happen both locally, and we would have heard the comparisons to this storm and that storm and how many persons would have passed away or all these particular things, and you'll understand the intensity that exists in these things. You got to make a decision, man.
Yes.
You got to make a decision.
Yes.
A lot of persons are in this kind of a position, and so I want to be able to hear about that. Talk to me about that. We only got a couple more minutes so we can be able to leave out of here. I just wanted to talk about futuristic concepts of what can happen. You told us a great deal. I want to be able to thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to talk to you like this, and I'm hoping that everyone ingested this stuff and talk to us about these particular things, right? But just before we get out of here, I want to talk to you about this sort of a concept and idea about what we do going forward. What are the things that we can expect from you? What are the things that we can be able to do like that?
So I think first and foremost, I am a big proponent on building capacity. We continuously try to grow our teams. One of the challenges we find is that there are a number of, there's not a lot of disaster practitioners in our space. And so bit by bit, you've seen members of our team expand their knowledge base. We've sent teams all over. I just recently came from a EU tour with the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, myself and my PS. We toured DHL. We toured various other entities. We went to the Barcelona supercomputer to see how we can utilize the tools and these assets through the EU support and donor funding that helps us to make a more robust disaster risk management
And you're forging relationships at the same time?
Yes. So already, since we've come back, we've reached out to DHL. DHL is on board to do a supply and logistics assessment tied with World Food Program. Additionally, one of the things we learned out of Hurricane Melissa and the evacuation exercise. How do we utilize the airports? Getting airports ready for disasters. And so we're now going to encourage, DHL is working with us to, what they implement is called a guard assessment, get airports ready for disasters, to see where our weak points are. And so what we're doing is systematically exposing our gaps, being able to close them, and then also fill those gaps with technology and build the capacity of our staff, volunteers, the National Youth Guard. They go through a rigorous disaster risk management training, which is a part of their work.
Mr. Sergeant, I want to thank you, man. You did very good. I hope everybody enjoyed this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great conversation tonight, none other than Aaron Sargent being able to talk to us about all things disaster. That does it here for us here at The Rundown. Be sure that you stay locked in at the ZNS Network for the Bahamas tonight at 11 p.m. It's the final newscast in the country with latest news and information from Corvell Pyfrom. From all of us here at ZNS, I'm Howard Grant. Thanks so much for joining.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make it a date. Saturday, June 27, 2026, 7 p.m. at Atlantis Paradise Island. It's the King Noah National Parkinson Foundation's 26th Annual Gala Charity Ball. Cocktails begin at 6:45 p.m. Food prepared by international chefs. Tons of prizes and surprises. Entertainment by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Pop Band, DJ Gary Super Johnson, and the Dynamic Essence Band. Once again, it's Saturday, June 27, 2026, 7 p.m. at Atlantis Paradise Island. If you haven't already purchased your ticket, give us a call at 242-477-3782. That's 242-477-3782. With your help, we can continue to tell those with Parkinson's.
We are not strong, and I'll be your friend.
After 30 years of banking, I've decided to take a leap of faith. I moved